Good morning, Alma College. Welcome to Alma Day 2026.
We're so glad you're joining, whether you're watching from campus, from home, or somewhere across the country or even the world.
I'm Holly Hall.
And I'm Yaw Poku, and for the next few hours, we'll be celebrating everything that makes Alma College such a special place.
Alma Day is all about coming together as a community to support our students, our faculty, and the programs that shape the Alma experience.
So what exactly is Alma Day?
Alma Day is our college-wide day of giving, 24 hours where alumni, parents, friends, faculty and staff, and students come together to support Alma College.
And you can giving is easy, and you can donate right now by going to alma.edu/almaday2026.
You can give from your phone, your tablet, your laptop, or anywhere you're watching from.
Every gift matters on Alma Day. It's not about the size of the gift, it's about participating and showing up for Alma.
To talk more about why today is so important, we're excited to welcome the president of Alma College, Dr. Joe Odenwald.
Dr. Joe, thank you so much for being here to kick things off.
Well, thanks, Holly and Yaw. It's great to be here sitting on the maroon sofa with you and Holly today, and happy Alma Day to everyone who's watching around the world.
Yes.
Dr. Joe, can you share why Alma Day, and especially giving to the annual fund, is so critical for Alma College?
Absolutely. The annual fund is one of the most important ways people can support our Scots. Gifts to the annual fund go directly to student scholarships, to academic programs, to campus resources, and hands-on learning opportunities. These gifts help us respond to immediate needs and make sure our students have access to everything that makes an Alma College impactful and a differentiator in life.
So when someone gives to the annual fund, they're really investing in the student experience.
That's exactly right. And one of our strategic directions we've adopted in the last couple months is elevate student experiences. And so when you do that, when you give to the student experience, you're investing in access, opportunity, and the success of our Scots.
We've got an incredible day planned to show you exactly where that impact goes. Throughout the day, you'll hear from faculty, staff, coaches, student athletes, academic teams, campus life leaders, and alumni who all care deeply about Alma.
We'll be bringing you live interviews, special videos, donor challenges, and real-time updates on our progress throughout Alma Day. So stay with us, check back throughout the day, and enjoy the time we have together, and share the stream with your fellow Scots.
And as we get started, we want to remind everyone you can give at alma.edu/almaday2026.
If Alma played a role in your story, today is a chance to be part of someone else's.
Thank you to everyone who's already given, and thank you to everyone who will support our Scots today. Your generosity truly changes lives. As we begin Alma Day, we want to take a moment to show you exactly what the annual fund is and why it matters so much to our Scots.
The annual fund supports everything from scholarships and academic progress to campus resources that students rely on every single day.
This next video brings that impact to life and shares why the annual fund is such a powerful way to support Alma.
And it's told by one of our very own, Dr. Jon Glenn.
Let's take a look.
What is 85%? It's discovery, just short of breakthrough. A performance, one run-through away. A championship season, one win shy. Homecoming without the bagpipes. For some, 85% is good enough, but Scots don't do good enough. Scots go further. We ask one more question and revise one more draft. We practice when no one's watching, rehearse after the lights go off, exceed expectations, lead before we ask. Because at Alma, potential isn't something we measure, it's something we multiply. Here's the reality. Tuition gets us most of the way. Our endowment helps, but together they cover about 85% of the Alma experience. The remaining 15%, that's the difference between good enough and exceptional, between participating and leading, between learning and transforming, between showing up and standing out. That difference is the annual fund. It fuels scholarships that open doors, it powers hands-on research, it equips labs and classrooms, it strengthens teams, programs, and traditions. It gives Scots the flexibility to say yes to opportunity right now. And it's made possible by people who believe Alma should never settle for just good enough. Your gift to the annual fund isn't filling a gap, it's creating the difference, the Alma difference. The difference that removes barriers, powers discovery, and drives championship performances, transforming good enough to exceptional, 85 to 100, and students and to Scots. That's the Alma difference.
That video really says it all. The annual fund touches on so many parts of the Alma experience. From scholarships to academics to campus life, it's truly one of the most powerful ways to support our students.
And we're fortunate to be joined by someone who has a front row. Nope, so sorry. Nope, that is correct. So sorry. We're fortunate to be joined by someone who has a front row seat to what impact over the past several months. Dr. Joe, now you're 9 months into your time as president at Alma College. We'd love for you to reflect a bit on that journey with you.
Let's talk about why you love Alma.
Well, I got to tell you that as I think about the last months and thinking about the experience, the word that comes to mind is exceed. You know, the experience I've had here being a part of this community over the last 9 months, it has exceeded my expectations of being a part of this community.
That's really great to hear. I'm curious to know what has surprised you the most about Alma College since you arrived on campus.
The students, it's our Scots. You know, I've been around higher education for 25 years at other colleges and universities, and I've never been able to serve and live among students the way I have here at Alma College. Our students are exceptional. They're also multidimensional. That's a phrase I've been using recently, multidimensional. Our students aren't just one thing or another. They're involved in so many different things. And, you know, I'm impressed. And sometimes I'm a little embarrassed that I wasn't quite so involved when I was a student.
You spend a lot of time, like you said, with students, faculty, and alumni. What have been some of your favorite experiences and interactions so far?
You know, it's hard to pick one, but if I had to nail it down, it's traveling both last fall and then again during winter break with our alternative break students. And if you think about it, this is an experience where students give of their time. Instead of going out to the beach somewhere, they go and they serve and they do things. And it's certainly powerful to be a part of planting trees or painting houses for people in storm relief. But it's the interactions you have as you're working and serving alongside students where you get to know people. You get to understand where our Scots come from. You get to understand what their passions are, how those things intersect, and where they're planning to go, and how Alma College has prepared them for the life that they're going to lead beyond Alma.
As you look toward the next academic year, what are one or two things you're especially excited about?
Well, you know, I've used the phrase ride all the rides a little bit back last summer, and I think that all students ought to take advantage of everything here. And now I've seen everything almost as we get ready to go to graduation in about a month. But I'm ready to see it again. You go into it the first year, you don't know what to expect. So you're trying to see all of it. This year, I know what to savor. And so I'm excited to see the life of the campus. You know, we go into summer and then it just lights back up as we go into fall.
We know you made it to the Tigers game in Florida and were able to visit a lot of our alumni in the area. How was that experience and what did it mean to share with the Alma community?
Yeah, it was a great week. You know, it was going to alumni events, it was going to athletic events, it was doing alternative break trips. And I met a lot of alumni both at the formal events, but also around some of the other things taking place. And I think I would say it was a confirming experience for me. I heard people say if there was one theme over and over again that people said, it's that Alma College prepared them for life, both academically and on the experience side. Their experience at Alma College changed the trajectory of their lives and enable them to have successful careers, to give back, to deal with change, all the things. And so that was really a great thing to hear that value throughout the years.
Now, we're going to be able to hear from you again later on the live stream when we have our Scot Talk, but one thing that I really want to know while we have you here is what is your favorite thing about Alma?
My favorite thing about Alma is the tartan, but it's not just the tartan itself, it's what it represents. The Alma tartan is the thread. All the threads in that, they recognize all the diversity of all of our graduates for the last 139 years. And so we're all a part of that, whether you're a Scot from 1904 or 2004 or 2025 or 2026 or 2050, whenever, that tartan is what binds us all together as Scots.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Dr. Joe, for sharing your perspective. That's something that I never really thought about with the tartan. So that's really cool. And, you know, again, just thank you for your leadership, heart, and the energy that you bring to Alma College every single day.
Okay. We have one more final question.
One more question.
What is your favorite vacation spot, if you could choose?
Well, you know, I don't know. That's a tough question, but I will tell you what, instead of saying what my vacation spot is, I'll tell you what my dream vacation
Okay.
spot is. All right, I'm the fortunate person that gets to live in Scotland, USA every day, but I think I want to go to Scotland.
Okay.
Okay, so I
It's
think
great.
that's it. I'm going to go to
great.
Scotland.
She went to Scotland.
I've been there. Yeah.
That's the plan. Next 2027, we're going
All
to
right.
Scotland.
Well, thank you so much for sharing what Alma really shines through on. And it's clear how much this community means to you, Dr. Joe, and isn't the only one who feels that Alma connection. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
Hi, my name's Yaw.
My name's Holly.
Today we're gonna go around and ask people why people love Alma.
Let's go.
The people.
The ability to travel. I've been to 3 different countries.
I love our students because they are 100% the best.
Love most about Alma is our professors.
Shout out Dr. Burns.
Shout out.
Small town feel and everybody knows each other, so it's just more of a tight-knit community.
I do love the community feel.
What I love about Alma is all my friends that I've made here through clubs and my sport, and just love the community that I've made here.
I love about Alma is how engaged everybody is with one another. Faculty really care about you, and all the students really look out for each other.
I love the music department because they are so caring and loving.
All my Alma College kids. I love everything about this school.
I love Marsha from Saga.
I love the people.
The community.
My friends on campus.
I love the Qdoba here.
I love the scenery.
I love the people and the atmosphere.
What I love about being at Alma College is the students. There's this incredible relationship between students and faculty that lasts way beyond when students graduate. And it's so fun to still have students in your life 10, 15, 20, and even 30 years later. So to all the students that are out there, Dr. Kimmerer misses you, and thanks for being part of my world.
Those stories that really capture what makes Alma so special. Every person has their own reason for loving this place.
And as we are seniors, we feel very grateful for the experience Alma has given us for the past 4 years.
Before we share a little more about our Alma experiences, we want to quickly introduce ourselves a little bit more, because these stories are really about students like us.
Yeah. My name is Yaw Poku. I'm from a small town called Fairgrove, Michigan. I'm majoring in healthcare administration with a minor in public health. And I've been involved in various amount of things, but my top 2 titles are being a resident assistant for the past 3 years and a vice president of Student Congress. My plans after graduation is I'll be pursuing a career in healthcare administration through Henry Ford Health.
Very cool. And my name is Holly Hall. I'm also from a small town in Michigan. It's called Armada. I'm majoring in business leadership management and sports management. And on campus, I am on the women's tennis team. I've been able to serve as a captain for the last 3 years. I'm also involved with our student athlete advisory committee. I have been the president the last 2 years, and I'm also involved in SAC at the conference, the MIAA level, and I also represent the MIAA on National Division III SAC for the NCAA. And I've had several other student jobs here on campus as well, including being a tour guide, which is so fun to show future Scots around campus. And I've also interned for the athletic department as well. And after Alma, I am going to Ohio University to pursue their MBA and MSA dual degree program, and I plan to go into sports administration. So I'll start that in the fall of 2026.
That's very exciting.
Yeah, you've been able to work several campus jobs during your time here at Alma. How have those experiences prepared you for your future career in healthcare administration?
As I mentioned earlier, I'm a resident assistant, so I deal with a lot of residents, and so that can come with like roommate conflicts, and so understanding that communication and really setting that ground really prepared me to enter in a high pressure situations, especially as well as student congress vice president. I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of campus clubs and organizations here on campus, and just really highlighting them and just creating a space here on campus for people to be more included and just have an inclusive atmosphere for a lot of our students here at Alma.
Very cool. Very cool.
Holly, now you have had the opportunity to travel during your time at Alma. Where have you traveled and how did those experiences shape you as a student?
So I've been able to travel a lot of different places domestically. I've gone to Phoenix, Arizona, Florida for spring break for tennis, Nashville, Tennessee, Washington, D.C., Las Vegas, throughout the Midwest as well, just playing tennis matches, in Ohio, Indiana, all over the place there. And also I've been able to travel internationally to Scotland as well. And we'll definitely talk about that a little bit more later when we have Coach Couch on. But yeah. And then I also want to ask you, Yaw, when you look back at your 4 years here, what's a moment at Alma you're most proud of?
A moment that I'm most proud of is watching all my residents really excel. I've had the fortune of watching them grow from their freshman year to now almost into their senior year after we leave, and seeing them grow as leaders. Later on, you'll in the live, we'll have Reagan Gleason, and she's captain of the volleyball team, but also has been a leader within SAC and all over campus, and just being a great influence, a great leader on campus, as well as Catie Carey. She's a part of the Alma College Choir. So seeing those residents of mine really grow within their fields of expertise has really been a proud moment for me. So yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Now, when you first came to Alma as a first-year student, Holly, what were your plans and how did those plans really change?
So, as I mentioned, I'm currently and will be graduating with a business leadership management and business sports management degree. But when I came to Alma, I was an integrated physiology and health science major. I was planning to go to dental school and become an orthodontist. That was my plan all through high school and everything. But as I kind of had the travel opportunities that I just mentioned, I was able to gain a lot of professional development and experience within the athletics field, and that kind of really shifted my perspective on maybe what I want to do for my career, that maybe doesn't feel like going to work every day. But yeah, so now, I'll be going to grad school in the fall with getting my master's in business administration and my master's in sports administration, so definitely a big shift there.
So I heard you're getting 2 degrees, not just 1.
Yes, yeah, I'll be graduating spring of 2028, where I'll get 2 master's degrees, which is really exciting. But yeah, so I mean, as you can see with Yaw and I here, experiences like these are why Alma means so much to us. And they're only possible because of alumni and friends choosing to support students year after year.
When you give on Alma Day, you're helping future Scots students create stories. So check in and see how we're doing on Alma Day so far.
All right, so if we can see our donation update screen here, let me give this a quick refresh.
While Holly's doing that, I'm just going to give you a little look-see. So if you're watching along and want to join in, head to alma.edu/almaday2026. This page makes it really easy to give right here. You can choose where you want your gift to go, whether that's the annual fund, athletics, academic programs, campus life, or student support areas. You can scroll through and see different parts of the college that are currently looking for support and give to what means the most to you. You also notice that you can see how many donors have already participated, where people are giving from across the country, and how close we are reaching our goal. You're probably wondering, what is our goal? Our goal for Alma Day this year is $200,000, and every gift brings us one step closer. One of the really exciting things about Alma Day is giving. Oh, and thank you. We just got in. Thank you, Martin, for donating from Estonia.
Wow, that is really far away from here. That's very cool. Very nice. All right.
All right. Again, you can see all of those matches and challenges directly on Alma Day when you visit our website at alma.edu/almaday2026. So be sure to check those out before you give.
Thank you to everyone who's already given, and if you haven't yet, now is a great time.
Coming up next, we're shifting gears to athletics, where we'll hear all about our fall sports and the impact sport has had on our student athletes.
We'll start with a homecoming recap video, followed by coaches and students joining us live.
And later, we'll be also hearing from faculty representing some of our academic teams, so stay with us.
But first, let's take a look back at one of our favorite events during the fall, homecoming. We're so excited to be joined by some of our members of Scott's Athletics today. We are with head football coach, Coach Jason Couch, head cross country and track and field coach, Matt Chovanec, and volleyball student athlete, Reagan Gleason. Thank you guys all for being here today.
Thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.
To get us started, I'd love for each of you to give a very high level overview of your season this year and share one highlight that really stands out to you.
Yeah, great. So we finished up cross country season this year. I'll use the word hot as an example of what it was like. Our women and men we're on kind of two different levels. Our men are very young and they learned a lot over the season and competed quite well, especially at the end of the season. The women were a little more senior oriented, junior oriented. Probably the highlight of the year was we won our first invitational in 15 plus years. So it was a good start to the fall, and then we transitioned into the winter season with indoor track, and there we had quite a bit of success on the track and in the field. 47 top 10 all-time marks for our program. A very good finish for our women's program, the highest in indoor history with a 4th place finish, and the highest in the last 10 years for us. So we head into outdoor season with a very big expectations on both sides, and really looking forward to hopefully seeing this weather moderate a little bit. So that's the big thing. It's March 18th and it's as cold as 4 out there.
Yeah, cool. As far as volleyball, we had a great journey this season. We started out 5-0 in our tournaments, and in pre-conference we competed super well with some good teams like Milliken, who has a really respectable program. In conference, I think what stands out to me most is when we swept St. Mary's. The energy in that gym was crazy, and it was such a good experience. We had 4 freshmen who started pretty consistently, and they're great additions to our team.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see them grow in our program and our culture and see what we do in the spring.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as football goes, I don't think it was necessarily the start that a lot of people were expecting. We were 1-2, and knew it was going to be a challenge. We had a really tough non-conference schedule, but I think the expectations, because of the prior 3 years, were that we'd go into conference undefeated, but that wasn't the case. What I do like is that I think those games motivated our team that much more, and there was definitely a commitment to refocusing and getting back to, with the standard, what the expectations that we have, solid practices, having fun, and we started off conference with, no slouch in Hope College. So went to their place and beat them in overtime. And that was the first of an undefeated conference schedule where we finished up in that last week against Adrian, where the title was still on the line. It would have been a 3-way share had we dropped it to them, and we would have lost the automatic qualifier. So we went up 14-0 on them in the first half, and I thought I almost started thinking too positively, right? And there was a chance that we could have went up 21-0, but I blinked and it was 21-14 them. Came out of halftime, they scored again, so to go up by 2 scores, I think a lot of people were getting pretty nervous, but those prior losses early in the year, I think, really fortituded the team and got them motivated in the last quarter, where we were able to pass them up and win 35-34 to win a third out of 4 years conference championship was great, and got that AQ into the NCAA tournament. So.
Yeah, Yaw and I got to be on the sidelines for that game, and
that was thrilling.
Yeah, even the weather, I don't know if you remember, but it was super cloudy, overcast, cold, at the first half, and then all of a sudden the sun peeked out, but it was getting later in the day, so it was more of a sunset. It was just it was very cinematic.
It was
magical. A picture that Eddie Williams chose for his MVP picture that we put on our graphics by the coach's office is just stunning, right?
Yeah.
You have the light coming down, and he's pointing up as a thank you after the game-winning touchdown, which you know, he had a phenomenal day, 215 or so yards, a couple
Yeah.
touchdowns, but a lot of fun.
Yeah, very cool. So, Reagan, I know you're involved in so many things. At Alma, we spend a lot of time together in student orgs. Can you talk about everything you balance as a student athlete and just how you make it work?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think, well, one, shout out to Outlook Calendar, because I have about every hour of my life scheduled a week in advance. But in all seriousness, yeah, I'm involved in Student Congress. I'm the Vice President of Student Congress. I'm on the e-board for our Student Athlete Advisory Committee. I'm an apartment manager. I work in the CSO. I wear many hats. Volleyball, obviously, is a huge part of my life. I think it's two things. I think it's my mindset and my support system. So I think my coach has been so encouraging to me. She has encouraged me for internships and job opportunities and just getting involved in student orgs since I was a freshman. She's encouraged that. And that's a huge part coming into a new school. And, you know, I'm just a freshman and she's like, go chase your dreams. So that means a lot. And then also my friends, of course, they're always there to support me, and my family. The professors here are also super understanding. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. You know, they definitely give some grace to people who are doing a lot of things and balancing a lot on their plate. And then I think my mindset, and part of it comes from the Alma culture. It's just, I'm only here for 4 years, so why not try to make a difference and leave a legacy? And we have so many good opportunities on this campus that a lot of students maybe don't know about, and I just want them to know about those things so that they can be prepared for life after college.
Yes, I love that. You have had a great Alma volleyball career. Is there a favorite memory that you've had so far in the
Great
past 3
question.
years?
I could choose a million. It's a huge part of my life. I love being on this team. I think the first thing that comes to mind is when we went to Mackinac Island. Sarah Dehring was, shout out Sarah Dehring. She was lovely enough to connect us with the school over there. And I mean, we took the little ferry over there and we biked around the island and we ate lunch with Albion and we got to tour their school, which was a really cool opportunity. And we scrimmaged on the island and then we headed home. And I think it was obviously some good team bonding, but also it was just cool to see how our community stretches outside of just Alma. Like, these people on the island were so welcoming and kind to us, and they cheered us on, and it just meant a lot because I know Alma has a huge part of that.
Very cool. Thanks, Reagan.
You're welcome.
Shifting over to Coach Couch, speaking of favorite memories, I was fortunate enough to take my spring term in Scotland, and where the football team went and played and everything, and I took a class along with that too. I heard you and your team are planning another trip to Scotland in the near future. Can you tell us a little bit about, you know, what your past experience was like and what the plans are for trip number 2?
Yeah. So the new goal is basically once for every cycle. Give every student athlete in the football program an opportunity to go. It went flawless the first time, and that's the large reason why we're going back. You know, you know, a lot of planning goes into something like that. I think we had 180 some travel that first time, and the opportunity for a team and other students to travel to Scotland and spend that much time together creates a bond that you can't get anywhere else. Right? I know I have players that said that they became friends with people that they hadn't talked to very much, right? They knew them, of course, but they didn't know them. And when you're submersed together in that environment, it, you know, fosters that. And so we're going to edit it a little bit, right? I think we took a couple of stops at places we may alter in the future, but you know, just learn, right? Learn from things. But so the plan is to go for 8 or 9 days, and instead of the 14 that we did last year. And we're still working out details, whether spring term's involved. But you know, the game was honestly secondary. It was fun. The team we played were incredible. They were gracious. I've never interacted with an opposing team as much as we did before the game. Like, all they wanted to do was talk ball, and they were blown away that, you know, the draft was in Detroit that same day, and you know, they were they were even sad for us, like, oh, you're missing the draft, and, because they're just passionate about the game. And so it was really enjoyable for all, and we're excited to offer that opportunity again in 2028.
Yeah, are you gonna go back on the field again?
I am
do you
not.
think?
I am
Oh, God, I
retired.
was
The cleats are thrown away.
Oh no.
I look at pictures and how red my face was, and the near cardiac arrest I went into. I shouldn't have went on the field the first time.
Oh, wow. You live
Yeah,
and
and my sons are graduated, so that
Oh, okay.
I've done that. I got to play
Yeah,
with it for
that's
a
nice.
down.
That's nice. Yeah.
So.
Well, now off the field, as we're talking about on the field, but off the field, your family has had a long history with Alma College. As an alum, a coach, a parent, current and graduated Alma students, and a husband to a faculty member, your entire family has been a part of Alma. What has been some of your proudest accomplishments and moments from your past and present you can share with us today?
I mean, conference championships are certainly exciting. I'm very proud of our team GPA and how much it's grown over the last 8 years. It went from a 2.63 when I got here in 2018, and now we're 8 consecutive semesters over a 3.1. And but you mentioned the family piece.
Yeah.
It's fun to be able to open up Life 360 and it says all 5 Alma College. You know?
Yeah.
So my wife is now teaching Becca. To see her enthusiasm, energy, she feels what I have for a long time about this place as a student. And then when I was offered that opportunity, she was the one that's like, yes, we've got to do this. You love that place, and now we're all in. I mean,
Yeah.
right? So it's been great.
That's great.
Yeah, so thank you for that, Coach College. Coach Shove, your programs have really benefited from the new Andrews Family Fieldhouse. How has that new facility impacted your teams this season, and what does it allow you to do that maybe wasn't possible before, like hosting an indoor track meet?
Yeah, it's definitely been a blessing to our program. First and foremost, for the winter training, it has impacted it tremendously that we can do things that we couldn't do in the past. So we've seen the progression of performances get much better. And I mentioned earlier, that we had 47 all-time top 10 marks for the indoor season. That includes 7 school records that were broken this year as well for the indoor season. On top of that, and I thought this was tremendous, there's 2 other programs that have indoor facilities in the MIAA, and that's Crain and Calvin. However, we were fortunate to host the first ever MIAA Combined Events Championship, which was the pentathlon and the heptathlon this year. And to make it even that much more special, we had 4 participants, 2 on the men and 2 on the women's side, and we put 3 of them on the podium this year, which shows kind of the impact of that. And we've been able to grow, our event status as far as things are concerned to a bigger number. It's slowly making an impact there. And then on top of that, we've also offered high school clinics on the weekends, on Sundays from 3 to 5, brought in local high school students as well as their coaches. Our coaches are available, and we work with them on the various events that are a part of track and field. So just trying to grow the sport, trying to grow the connection with the community, obviously trying to grow and make our program better, which we've seen the results for.
Yeah.
Now, Coach Chovanec, you also graduated from Alma, and through your coaching career, you have mentored and impacted so many lives during your time here. You even married 2 Alma alumni. So tell us a little about what that impact means to you, and who have been some of your mentors along the way.
I've said this before, I'm blessed to do what I get to do every single day. I get to do that. And when practice rolls around at 4:30, it's awesome to connect with each of our student athletes and talk to them. Not about what the workout's going to be. It's more about what's going on in class, how's things in life, how's things at home. I think that's really important. And that was my experience here. Coach Gray, who was my coach, was a teacher all the way. And it was a teacher about life. It wasn't about just the sport that we were involved in. And his impact goes far beyond, you know, myself. He impacted generations before this, generations after this. So, you know, we're going to be able to celebrate his life later on in May. And, you know, it just shows, you know, what he's done. And when the opportunity came to come back and be a part of the program again, like Coach Couch, it was pretty much a done deal, you know, and there was no discussion about it. It was very important for me to be back here and to give people the same experiences.
Well, I want to say from all of us at Alma College, I know we're just 3 students right now, but we just really want to say thank you for the impact you've had on the students, but not only that, but Alma College. We really appreciate it, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Yeah,
So thank you.
Yes. So as we just heard from some of our incredible athletic teams, we'll be hearing from some more later in the live stream. But now we're going to shift some gears and we're going to highlight another group of students who are doing amazing work, our academic teams.
Yes, so let's take a look at how students are making an impact through Business Professionals of America and Model United Nations.
My name is Chloe Anderson. I'm in my senior year at Alma College, and my major is a business administration major with a concentration in both business analytics and business leadership and management. I was inspired to pursue a business degree because I've always been interested in kind of the behind the scenes of everything and what makes everything come together. And for me, the business aspect of it and how business operate and how everything kind of comes together has been really interesting to me. I've always really loved being involved in a lot of leadership positions in different organizations, and so for me, like, I'd love to see how that translates into the business world. So I have a lot of interest kind of moving forward in some of my career ambitions to get into the human resource field, because I have always loved working with like people and some of the legal ends of it as well. And so I've had a couple of different internships during my time as a student, and this past summer I had one at Bosch, and I've kind of continued doing that while I'm at school. So that's a really exciting opportunity that I feel like I've learned a lot in, and I'm looking forward to kind of continuing to learn a lot in it as I continue it through the school year and potentially beyond that. I feel that Alma's business program stands out because there's a wide variety of degrees and concentrations you can choose from. While it is a small school, you have that close relationship with your professors and a smaller class size, but you still have a lot of options within the degrees, and that really stood out to me when I was looking at colleges, because I didn't just want to be just business administration or just one thing. I wanted to have a lot of different variety in what I was looking at, because I'm someone who has a lot of different interests, so I felt that if I could come out of college with experience in a lot of different things, that would help me best navigate my career and potential changes in my career. Model UN has helped me become a better student individual in more ways than probably I even comprehend. I would say before coming to college, I was aware of a lot of world issues, but I don't think I properly knew how to convey how they mattered to me and how to understand them better. And I think Model UN has really taught me what things I'm personally passionate about and how I can best serve those communities and those issues. It also has helped me a lot with my speaking skills and just learning how to talk without being as nervous as maybe I used to be, and also just speaking to people from all different experiences. I think being part of the Model UN program, specifically at Alma, is really exciting because we are the best, so that's very exciting, but also I think it allows me to connect with people from all different avenues of life and experiences and backgrounds, and also Dr. Holm is a great mentor and resource. The Posey Global program at Alma College is a really unique program where students can apply for a grant to go volunteer anywhere in the world, and it's fully funded. I've had the opportunity to travel to Sierra Leone twice to volunteer in a child care center where I kind of worked in daily life and did different tasks with that. It was really important to me because it helped broaden my perspective and gave me a worldly view that I couldn't get just living in Michigan.
That video really highlights the kind of academic excellence that we see every day at Alma. And joining us now are 2 people who work closely with students competing and excelling on the national stage.
We are excited to welcome Dr. Singer, an advisor of the Business Professionals of America, and Dr. Taylor, advisor of Moot Court. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
To get us started, can you each share a high-level overview of Business Professionals of America and Moot Court and how your seasons have been going so far?
Absolutely. BPA is Business Professionals of America, and the students travel and compete at a state leadership conference and a national leadership conference. And what's interesting about BPA is it's not just business students. We have students all across the campus, math students, students from psychology. It's not limited to business, which is great. And as an example of some of the success, we just had a recent competition, which was the State Leadership Conference in Grand Rapids. And our team, which is not a large college or university, we actually took 30 top placement awards, which the students did just a phenomenal job at BPA.
Great. So moot court is a type of debate that is modeled on argument before the United States Supreme Court or in an appellate court. So every year in May, a governing body releases a fake constitutional case, and it has linked to it real cases that students then read and compose arguments. They're then tasked with composing arguments both for and against the constitutional question, and they have to be able to argue opposing sides in alternate rounds, while attorneys who are judging them interrupt them and make them clarify further. So it really teaches you to think on your feet, to be fast, but also to have a detailed understanding of the issues in advance. And some successes we've had this season, this is our second year with the team. We had 2 teams qualify for the national tournament, and they both competed in different rounds in the national tournament in January. And then we had one, there's also a written competition, and so students came in 5th place on the petitioner side. I believe there were 356 briefs submitted from 60 schools, and Alma was a top 5 brief. So we've had a remarkable season for our second year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, really cool to hear all that. So, Dr. Taylor and Dr. Singer, for alumni who may not be as familiar, how many academic teams does Alma have, and what kinds of opportunities do these teams offer students beyond just the classroom?
Great. So Alma has 4 academic teams: Moot Court, Business Professionals of America, Model UN, and iGEM. And they offer hands-on experiential learning experiences where you have the opportunity to engage not just in a theoretical way, but in a practical way that makes you put your concepts into action. And so that sort of intense, high-pressure environment helps you learn the concepts better than you would if you were simply reading them out of a book.
Yeah.
And now, Dr. Singer, Business Professionals of America offers incredible real-world experiences. Can you talk about some of the travel and competition opportunities with for BPA students that have had, and what those experiences mean to you?
That's a great question. Thank you. So one of the things that we do, of course, is train for these events. And the BPA events cover just a broad spectrum of activities. It could be accounting, it could be finance, it could be interview skills, it could be marketing skills, digital marketing skills. There's team events, there's podcasting events. It's a wide spectrum so students can practice across the board. The other great thing is they're learning about business travel when they do this, because they get involved with putting the budget together, figuring out, are we going to drive, are we going to fly, which airline should we take, how do we plan out the meals, what's proper for business dress, what's the proper business etiquette to use. They get to experience other cities. So there's this broad exposure, not just to the intellectual and academic concepts they learn about, but just business etiquette and business travel skills that they're going to learn throughout.
Yeah, good to know. And to kind of piggyback off of that question, you've spoken before about the importance of the alumni network of alumni here at Alma. How can alumni connect and support BPA students?
That's a great question, Holly. I might modify it a little because it could be, how can alumni support all of our business students, which they do a great job of it, and I know they're going to continue to support us. So they come to classes and they tell students about their stories of success. What was it like being in Alma? How did they choose their career? What was the trajectory of their career? And importantly, they offer sort of lessons of success. How did they do it? And what advice do they give to our business students? They help mentor our students. We even have an alumni occasionally, such as this spring term, where Michael Altman's going to come in and teach one of our spring term courses about business. They also help us find internships and jobs for the students as well. So it really creates this virtuous circle where people have gone to Alma and have been successful in business, come back, and they help prepare the next generation for success. And it's fantastic.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, Dr. Taylor, Moot Court is such a high impact experience. What skills do students develop through Moot Court and that really set them for success after graduation?
Great. So one of the most important skills that students get in moot court is public speaking. They have to be up in front of an attorney for 10 to 8 minutes in any given round. They have to be able to think quickly on their feet. They have to have read the cases closely and really retained a lot of information. And their ability to answer novel questions on the fly, to really integrate what they've learned previously with a new set of issues, drives them to think critically but also creatively. And so those skills can take them wherever, not just into the legal field, but into any activity that they'll eventually join.
That's great.
Yeah, really great to hear that. Dr. Taylor, what do you think sets Alma's academic teams like Moot Court apart from similar programs that are at other colleges?
So I think that one of the things that's unique about Alma is precisely how many of these teams we have kind of adjacent to each other and how well they all do. So for example, we just saw a video about MUN. We have several students who do Moot Court in the fall when it takes place and MUN in the winter. So they are going from one academic team to another. They're really getting that experience of doing the different skills that each activity brings out one after the other. And so they can kind of play those skills off of one another in the same way that, you know, iron sharpens iron. They're likewise honed more by the variety of activities in which they participate. And so I think that that is one advantage. And the other is just the liberal arts environment in general allows for greater teacher-student, you know, ratios that allow for more hands-on experience to get students involved with faculty. And so they have a sort of line of connection that they might not have at a larger school if they were involved in a similar activity.
Yeah, I know, like, so my teammates on the tennis team are involved in, like, MUN and other, like, iGEM, like, academic teams. So definitely speaking from a student-athlete perspective, balancing athletics and, you know, an academic team is also possible in addition to multiple academic teams. So, yeah.
And our little final question for you both. Why are academic teams such an important part of the Alma experience, and especially when it comes to career readiness?
That's a really good question. And my take on that would be this is about an experiential situation where it's not just learning out of a textbook or the classroom. They're getting sort of that next level where they're getting network skills built, travel skills built. They learn how to compete and how to be driven. And in the case of business, they're learning valuable business skills that are that next step above what you're going to get just in the classroom experience.
Yeah.
And I guess I echo everything that Andy said, but it's also iterative in a way that I think that normal class processes aren't. So students in Moot Court work on the same arguments across the course of the entire semester. They go from having a kind of nascent idea of what might be involved in a case to really refining it. And that sort of work to do the same thing over and over and over again repeatedly makes them better than they would be otherwise. And so I think that that is an added aspect of the activity.
Yeah, and one final question before we wrap things up with you guys. What would you tell alumni that are watching the live stream right now about why these programs are worth supporting?
I'd like to say something directly to our alumni who are watching. Firstly, thank you. I mean, your involvement has been essential and it's appreciated. We've doubled the number of business students at Alma College in the last 3 years, thanks to your help. So your support is incredibly available, and I'd like to challenge you to donate to the business department. And I've got right here, as sort of an incentive to show the way, it's a check for $1,000 to the Alma College Business Department that I'm donating today, and I hope you do the same or more. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Singer.
Well, I left my checkbook at home. But yeah, so why are these programs worth supporting? Because they really add a novel dimension to students' experience, and without it, they would simply be sitting in a classroom. And so, again, the intensity of the activity is what adds to the exercise.
Yeah, really nice job, you two, answering our questions, and thank you so much. So yeah, thank you for all you do for supporting students, from teaching us and everything like that, and really showcasing academic excellence here at Alma. Up next, we'll check back in with a donation update.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you
guys.
so much. Thank you. Thank you again to Andy and Ben for sharing how Alma's academic teams like Moot Court and Business Professionals of America are preparing students for success far beyond the classroom. And we're not slowing down. This is so much more to come during Alma Day live stream today. Coming up, we'll hear from two incredibly important funds that directly support students. The support is Scot Fund and the Academic Excellence Fund. We'll also learn more about Alma's MFA program later on, and as well as athletics, we'll be back with a look on winter sports. But first, let's check in on how Alma Day is going so far. So right now, if you're watching and would like to be a part, you can head to alma.edu/almaday2026. This section is especially important. Our matches and challenges right now. The Academic Excellence Fund has a double year impact match. If you donate to any academic department, your gift will be matched dollar for dollar for the Academic Excellence Fund, up to $10,000. That means your support goes twice as far in supporting academic programs, faculty, and supporting students. We also have the Support a Scot Fund match with $5,000 available dollar for dollar, helping students who are facing unexpected financial challenges stay enrolled and succeed. If you've been thinking about giving, this is a great moment. Those matches mean your support and have a greater impact right now. Explore all these opportunities and choose what matters most to you at alma.edu/almaday 2026. Every gift, regardless of size, moves us closer to our goal. Two of the funds you've heard about today, the Support a Scot Fund and the Academic Excellence Fund, play a powerful role in making sure students have resources they need to succeed. Up next, we'll hear more about these funds directly and to impact students on why support for them matters so much, especially on Alma Day.
Let's continue the conversation and welcome our next guest.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Glad to be here.
Thanks for having us.
Of course.
Yes. Let's welcome our next guest and introduce Dr. Phil Andre, Director of Student Success, and Dr. Laura VonWallmenich, Associate Provost of Student Success and Associate Professor of English and American Studies, and also my amazing advisor.
Paid her $20 to say that.
Did it go to the Alma Fund?
Yeah.
Okay, Phil and Laura, thank you guys so much for being here with us today and for the work you do to support Alma students. We've been talking a lot about impact today, and both of your roles are so closely connected to making sure students can thrive here at Alma. To get us started, can each of you share a high-level overview of your role and what your day-to-day work looks like here at Alma College?
Sure.
Go first.
Sure. So I'm Director of Student Success. So the Student Success Office, we are really here just to help every student be successful. A lot of times that's with academic support. We look at those strategies that can help them elevate their skill sets. It could be executive skill functioning. It could be study strategies. We also work with disability services. So helping students navigate those barriers, whether it be through a 504 plan that they had back in high school or some other challenge that they might experience. We can work with those students to navigate that and ensure that they're going to have a great quality experience here and just be able to be successful and engage in their time.
Okay. Now, Phil, back to the question. Sorry.
So as the Associate Provost, my job really is to be sure students have everything they need to graduate on time. So that is making sure that the schedules that we offer have the classes that they need. It also means ensuring they have the excellent advising to keep them on track and coordinating with all of the other offices, including my counterpart here, but also experiential learning, all those other things. I also do academic integrity, but that is also part of how students learn. The truth is human beings learn through failure. And so having those conversations with students who have made a mistake can be a transformative opportunity to understand the nature of ethics and integrity. So,
yeah, and I can be a testament to Dr. V's advising because I'm graduating on time. So she did a great job.
Now, Phil, the Support a Scot Fund is such a critical resource for students.
Sure.
Can you explain this fund and how it supports students when they need it most?
Sure. Support a Scot Fund, it really serves as a stopgap. We know that sometimes life is going to continue to happen while we are in college, and when the unexpected pops up, there might be some financial distress. So this fund is really there to help students navigate that financial challenge at that time, and it really serves in a good way. Worked with a student a couple of years ago. She was entering her final year at Alma, final term at Alma, and was not certain as to how she was going to pay for that final term because she had a parent who was laid off. So all of the fine pieces that went into paying for her college education through her work, her parents' work, and just other initiatives and things, scholarships, now there was this extra variable. So we worked with her, and that Support a Scot Fund really helped her just ensure that she was going to be able to finish here at Alma and just have that experience, and it took that stress away. So a fund like this is so instrumental in helping students when life does happen and the unexpected pops up.
Yeah, no, I love that example, and I think that's what Alma College is all about, is supporting a lot of our students. Now, you work directly with students every day. What excites you most about the work you do, especially when you see how Support a Scot makes an immediate difference?
Just the one-on-one interactions. We just have great students. I love working with them, and to see them navigate a challenge, because we all need help at certain points in life, to see them navigate a challenge and come out on top and have the confidence and the skills that they then need to move forward, but knowing that they can then help someone in the future as well too. But seeing them take that pride and just have that stress relief from something like the Support a Scot Fund, it just goes a long way, and it really makes us, this is what the job is all about. We just love being able to help and offer assistance wherever we can.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so shifting over to Dr. V, can you give us an overview of the Academic Excellence Fund and what that helps support here at Alma?
Yeah, thanks for asking. I mean, it's such an important fund right now because the challenges that faculty face in terms of innovating what learning looks like right now, that's both in the face of what's happening with AI and the increasing importance of experiential learning in making sure students are career ready. So this fund basically provides resources that help support the development of new and innovative courses. It provides support for innovative faculty research. And for instance, it also provides resources for technological enhancements that are really critical now to teaching and learning.
Yeah, and what are some recent accomplishments of our students and faculty that you would be willing to share that maybe they benefited from the fund there?
Yeah, well, I can give two quick examples. One is Professor Justin Rito. So he is our professor of music composition. And like a lot of musicians, the pandemic, especially when you compose for orchestras and symphonies, was a challenge, and it triggered a really interesting series of ruminations, a turn inward to what music was without all of those things. And so the fund helped support the recording of the work that resulted from that, called The Simple Songs. The album was forthcoming this year, and that was only possible because of the Academic Excellence Fund supporting that. Another really great example of this is how this fund supports things like the development of innovative new experiential learning courses, particularly providing opportunities for faculty to do the advanced work to prepare those classes. For instance, Professor Brianna Harfman has developed a new class looking at exercise and health physiology in Finland, looking at the difference that climate and altitude make there. And so the chance for students to do that and the chance for her to be able to develop that class is critical. The last thing is we're facing two really big transformative things in the teaching and learning space. One is our new core curriculum has a capstone of these things called interdisciplinary seminars. These are completely new co-taught classes. Faculty are not trained necessarily on what co-teaching looks like. And this fund helps us be sure that we continue to deliver innovative classes. But even more importantly, every faculty on campus is now challenged by how AI is challenging teaching and learning. And so how do we think about this not just as an enemy we must contain, right? But a challenge to how we teach students to learn, use it ethically, and to embrace it as part of what it means to be a critical thinker.
Yeah, I took my ideas class last semester, and I took it with Dr. Glenn and Fletcher Roberts.
Right,
So Dr. Glenn we're going to hear from later, but Fletcher Roberts is our sports performance coach. So it was a mind, body, health, and wellness class, and that was really nice.
Yeah, and these are classes that bring together people from two totally different disciplines. I'm teaching one with a neuroscientist in the fall. about the attention economy, about how technology and our brains are mutually enforcing.
Yeah,
each other's
that's a cool one.
development.
That is.
If I was sticking around, I'd probably take that one. But yeah, Dr. V, what are some opportunities for alumni to engage and show their support for academics?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think obviously beyond supporting something like the Academic Excellence Fund, direct donations to your department are so helpful because those go directly to supporting students in your major. My own department of English, when we get donations, they go directly into supporting the fund we use to subsidize student travel to our National Honorary Society convention. So writers and students who get their critical work accepted, we are able to subsidize their travel to the conference, which in places like New Orleans, Portland. The other thing, though, is money is important, but so is your time and attention. We really love it when alumni reach back out to their departments to let them know that they're willing to be a mentor, be a resource, share their experiences. As a department, I rely constantly on some of our amazing alumni, even just for things like being able to direct a current student to talk to an alumni who I know has a perspective that will make a difference.
Yeah, and that was something that Dr. Singer touched on just
yeah.
before you guys came on. So that's really great to hear that that's a consistent theme. But yeah, thank you both so much for sharing your perspective and the incredible work you guys do to support Alma students every single day.
Well, and thank you two for being here too and have such great questions.
We're happy to be here. Yeah.
Yes. One of the areas supported through academic giving is truly a unique program that brings writers from across the country and around the world to Alma College.
Up next, we're turning our focus to Alma's MFA program and the powerful experiences created through its residency model.
The short video gives you a glimpse into what makes the MFA program at Alma so special. So let's take a look.
This residency experience, the on-campus residencies, it really gives us a chance to see what each of us have been working on throughout the semester. With our workshops, we can see how we've all grown simply from the pieces that we read over. It's 10 days of just learning about craft, writing, getting new ideas. I would say this is probably the time when I do come up with most of my ideas because of lectures, because of talking with other creatives and sharing my ideas with them. Everybody's so enthusiastic about my craft and I'm excited to hear about theirs. So it's just this community is so supportive. I love it.
That video gives a glimpse into one of the most unique academic programs at Alma College. And joining us now are two people who know this program incredibly well.
We're excited to welcome Sophfronia Scot, director of Alma's MFA program, and Joshua Zeitler, a recent graduate from the program. Thank you both for being here.
Oh, you're welcome.
So let's start with Sophfronia. Can you start by sharing an overview of the MFA program itself and kind of what it is?
Oh yeah, the Alma College MFA is a 2-year graduate degree. And it's a low residency format, which means you don't have to leave a job, you don't have to move. You're only on campus or in person twice a year for residencies in January and August. And those are 10-day intensives. When you're in lecture, you're having your work read in workshop, you're attending live readings every night, and then you're assigned a faculty advisor. And the rest of your semester, you're working one-on-one in independent study with that advisor. So you progress very quickly and you produce a lot of work in 2 years.
Very cool.
The first question for you, Sophfronia, you built this program from the ground up. What made you want to come to Alma to start the MFA program?
Well, first of all, it started with Alma College itself, right? This program was already created and approved before I even came on the scene, which is hugely important. You know, this was the first graduate program of the college, and they wanted it steeped in its liberal arts tradition, so they chose an MFA. I came here believing that that connection would be so important because a lot of MFAs kind of exist in a bubble outside of the the college that it's home to.
Mhm.
So I saw an opportunity to be part of that, this program to be part of that connection that already existed within the college, and to bring it in, to foster the sense of community that was already here, and to bring writers in and tell them, here's a home for you.
Yeah.
For someone who may be hearing from this live stream about it for the first time, what makes Alma's MFA program different from other programs?
Well, there are a lot of low residency programs, but you should know that we are the only one in Michigan. There are also no low res programs in Illinois, Indiana, or Wisconsin. So we have kind of a unique space here just in the Midwest. But also, I came into this endeavor recognizing, having been a low-res MFA student myself, noticing where there could be improvements on the model. So number one, we have professional development. I believe that students should know where their work fits into the publishing world, and also what they want to do with it after they graduate. So we have editors, we have agents, we have graphic artists who come in to talk about the publishing industry. I also wanted to tap into the travel aspect. You know, Alma College is known for its travel, and our residencies usually feature some aspect of travel, whether we're traveling domestically, internationally, or even at home at Alma. We usually have some sort of excursion where our students get out of the classroom and experience the real world. So I like thinking that we are alive in a unique way.
Recently, you were able to create that MFA Student Support Fund. Can you briefly explain what that is and why is it important for students in the program?
Well, the residency experience is unique and hugely important, but there are times when a student, for some reason, a last-minute emergency, maybe their childcare fell through, where their presence at the residency might be endangered. So the Student Support Fund exists so that we can help out with an unexpected expense that has nothing to do with tuition or a course fee. You know, it's a way to keep a writer in the room. That's the way that we're looking at it. Help keep a writer in the room.
I like that.
Yeah, really nice to hear that. We're gonna ask some questions to Joshua as a recent graduate of the program. Joshua, what is your experience like in Alma's MFA program, and how did it shape you as a writer and professional?
Yeah, well, first off, it was incredibly personalized. What I love about the MFA program at Alma is, first of all, just the excellence of the faculty. And each of them has something individual and unique to offer. And so, like, in my first semester when I was working with Benjamin Garcia, you know, my reading list started off in one direction and then kind of veered a little bit based on my own interests and what he saw me responding to. And so there's so much that can be personalized, and it created out of me a writer who is attuned to my own interests and to my own passions and obsessions. And so I've really been able to build a productive career out of that.
Yeah, that's really great to hear. Kind of branching off of that, how did the MFA program impact you, and what are you doing now as a result of your experience in the program?
So it impacted me hugely. Like, first of all, my sense of confidence and my sense of professionalism and knowledge. I actually feel like I have authority in a room now. But I've been publishing pretty widely. I recently had a poem in Plowshares, which I was so happy about.
That's a big journal.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Yeah. So it was such a huge win. And you know, and I understand, like, going through the program too, you get a lot of one-on-one conversations with people who have had different paths. And so you know what the writer's life is like. You know there are going to be long periods where things just come back rejections and it feels like you're running up against the wall. But you see examples of people who have gone through that and persevered and come through the other side. And it gives you the courage and the strength to do that yourself. And I think I have. I have a chapbook out now, Bliss Road through Seven Kitchens Press. And I'm working on circulating my first full-length manuscript. So
Wow, that's great.
It's out there. I've decided, it's right where I need it to be. So I'm working on manuscript number 2 while I wait for that to get home. We're going to set it aside. So now I'm working on actually a hybrid project of like essays that are kind of prose poems. I'm really excited by it.
Congratulations on the journal, by the way.
Oh yes. Yes. And we started a literary magazine with a couple of different
MFA alum.
Alum. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
That's
and we've been
nice.
able to publish current MFA students as well and get their words out into the world. And it's just been such a thrilling and exciting experience. We have a residency coming up where we're going to Door County, Wisconsin to sort of plan for the future of the journal and get some marketing down and sift through submissions.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
A question for you both. The residency experience is such a defining part of the program. What's your favorite memory from the MFA residency at Alma?
I would have to say it was our first trip to Venice, Italy. And that first excursion when we were in our private water taxis going through the canals. And one of the students said to me, and he writes fantasy, and he said, I've been beating myself up trying to create magic in my world building, but there's magic here. And I said, absolutely, let this place inspire you. And to me, that's the heart of why we travel, is for them to see you can be inspired by big and beautiful places.
And I would also say, because I graduated in Venice, which was quite an amazing experience. We were able to personalize like that graduation too. Like we had laurel wreaths, like fresh laurel wreaths.
So you like walked across the stage, like theoretically, like in Venice, Italy.
Yeah. It was amazing.
That's really cool.
And there's this part of the graduation process that we do there where one of your faculty mentors will read your work. And it is such a powerful and emotional experience. And so to have that sort of happen in Venice, Italy, I can't top that experience.
Lastly, what excites you most about the future of the MFA program as it continues to grow?
Bringing new writers into the program, writers of different genres. I'm thinking about creating a track where we could have people who write children's books, people who write for young adults, right? So thinking about that, also thinking about new locations for us to explore domestically, for example. We love being home here in Alma, but what about New Orleans? What about New Mexico? Maybe Malibu, just to broaden our horizons.
Yeah. Well, thank you both for sharing your stories about the MFA program. I definitely learned a couple new things in this conversation. So, you guys do incredible work in this program. And it's really inspiring to see how the MFA program is creating a space for creativity, growth, and meaningful connections.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
So, from academic creativity to competitive excellence, Alma students are making an impact across campus. Up next, we're shifting gears back to athletics with a look at winter sports. Let's take a look at a quick recap video. That video showcased just how much passion, talent, and commitment our winter teams bring to Alma College.
And joining us now are 3 coaches who work with student athletes, making a huge impact and off the mat, court and on the floor.
Coaches, welcome to the Alma Day live stream. We are so excited to have you guys here with us today. Please introduce yourselves to our audience.
Groeneveld, head men's wrestling coach.
Sammy Stormont, head women's basketball.
Tracy Burton, dance team coach.
Could you guys tell us a little bit maybe about your program culture and kind of the things that go into your day-to-day life as coaches of some of our varsity teams here at Alma?
Go ahead, Tracy B.
So our culture is just about the people and making sure all of our athletes have a great experience. We want them to be good humans and give back to the world after they graduate from Alma. So we really focus on the culture and just taking care of each other. But also, with that, if you really take care of the people, then success comes from that. So I think that's kind of what leads us to having a good program that people want to be part of.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, Tracy is definitely the example of that in her program. But I think also like the people, right, is why we love Alma, and I think we try to teach our kids that of how lucky they are to be here. And I think just being thankful for every chance we get in our program and showing great gratitude for the opportunities we have is really important in our program and our culture.
Great.
Well, thank you all for sharing that. To get us started, we're going to start with Coach Stormont and women's basketball. Coach, can you give us an overview of your season and what were one of the highlights?
Yeah, we had a good season. We had a tough injury to start right off the bat, but I was really proud of our kids and how they battled adversity. I think one big highlight was knocking off Calvin early at home. They were picked preseason #1, and they had won the tournament last year. So we were down 15 in the third quarter, and our kids just really dug deep, fought hard, and we ended up winning by 4. So it was huge when I talked about making the playoffs, and we made the playoffs for, again, now 8 years in a row and had a great competition versus Calvin there. So definitely a highlight and a lot of growth for our group this year.
And Coach Sammy, what do you think the impact of traveling to places all over, whether it's just for a conference game or I knew you guys went to Oregon. Did you guys just go to Florida too? So kind of how did those travel experiences impact like the overall student athlete experience?
Yeah, I think it's something they'll remember the rest of their lives. I think we always ask at the end of the year, what's your biggest joy? What's your biggest struggle, right? And multiple times kids put their biggest joy was getting to go to Florida. And, having that experience with your teammates, it's a different level, right? Being away with them, traveling with them. And I just think really that's memories that they're going to always take with them past their 4 years here.
Great. So thank you for that. We'll shift over to Coach Groeneveld over here. Thank you for being here. And do you want to start by telling us maybe some proud moments you have of the men's wrestling team this season? I know you guys just had a really big performance, but I'll let you share that.
No, it was a great year. We had a very young team this year, so we don't graduate any seniors from our lineup. So everybody's freshmen, sophomore, juniors. Yes.
That's really good.
And so it was really good. Caden Bell had a really great regional tournament and qualified for the national tournament. So first national qualifier since 2020 and first freshman to do it since I think 2016. So it was a big accomplishment for him. And then really this year was about growth, having a young team. So every time we talked about competing, it was just another opportunity to show the growth. And we showed that at the regional tournament with Caden beating a guy he lost to in the year. Luke Martin at 174, he ended up majoring a guy at the regionals that he got teched by to place. And then Dom Gumtow had a really good freshman year as well. He's all MIAA, undefeated in the conference, and then had a tough regional lost the returning national runner-up in the semis. But it was still a really good year for us there. And when we look at all of our duels, we didn't have all the wins we wanted, but every team we wrestled, we closed the gap on or beat more than we did the year before. So it was a really good growth year for us with a very young team.
Yeah, and it's great to hear that, wrestling I feel like is one of those sports similar to like me as a tennis player. Like we have a lot of opportunity for individual success, but you also have opportunity for team success too. So it's really great to hear that you're experiencing both.
Yep. So.
Yep.
Now, Coach Groeneveld, you're an Alma alum, and you were part of the very first recruiting class of Alma's newly reinstated wrestling program. So tell us what kind of growth you have seen in the program overall during that time, and how has that experience influenced you as a head coach?
It's been an awesome experience. There's a reason I'm still here, and it's not just the wrestling program, it's the campus and the community as a whole. I spent 1 year away from here since 2011. I was student teaching and assistant coach at a high school, but I've been here since 2011 wrestling or coaching, and I love the community, the college, and it's really the opportunity to start a program here in Michigan was a really awesome experience. And to see where we've gone from having our practice area in the Cappert gym with a drop down curtain to the beautiful room that we have now.
Yeah, our wrestling room is really nice.
Yeah, so and it's through our alumni support and everything with Mr. Hatcher, as well as a lot of different alum. It's been great to see them investing in the program, and it's great that we can do this today to kind of showcase some of those things that alumni have really helped with, and not just alumni, but friends of the program as well. So it's been an awesome experience. I love being here.
Yeah, that's great.
How has that donor support impacted the wrestling programs, both men's and women's?
Yeah, it was a really good thing to get the room. So a 2-mat wrestling room, all the equipment we need to build a great team and a great program. And it's been awesome having the women's program come along with us. And Coach Duval's been doing a really good job, and with his recruiting and the team, and we work really well together. So it's awesome to have that collaboration there with joint practices or practice times and stuff. So, and it's been great, and a lot of the travel that we get to do is supported by alum, and not just monetary support. Dave Vibber, who graduated in the 70s, he's put together a whole history of Alma College wrestling. So it's about a 2-inch thick book now of history.
Wow,
So
cool.
it's awesome to have that support, not just the monetary side of it, but the investment in the program. And really for our guys, it's to learn the history of Alma, and it's awesome to have those legacy alumni, is kind of what we call them, to come back into and support us as a program.
Yeah, very cool.
Well, thank you, Coach, for sharing. It sounds like the wrestling, men's and women's wrestling team is more built in family, as you kind of really showcased that within our alumni. Coach Burton, your season is still going on and kind of goes on year round. So tell us a little bit about the dance team and some proud moments so far.
Well, this is actually my 10-year anniversary this month. So
Congratulations.
Started with 5 dancers our first year. Now we have a little over 50 dancers. So half of them participate in performing at football and basketball, and the other half do football, basketball, plus compete. So it's been a crazy, fun journey, and we've really seen everything along those 10 years. But this year specifically, we're working towards trying to hopefully gain another national title. Last year was the pinnacle of what we've ever done. We won the Grand National Championship, so that means we won our division for Division III, and then we went on again to compete against every D1A, D1, D2, and we won that too. So that was definitely unprecedented. We're the first Division III team to ever do that, and it was just crazy. So we're just very thankful and humble, and just want to do a good job again this year. You know, the goal is never to win. It's just to be proud of the end product, and that's really what we focus on. We don't look at the other teams. We don't look at the scores, honestly, even that much. We just try to outdo what we did the year before on our own personal best. So it's just all about growth and doing the best we can.
Yeah, that's really cool to hear. I'm still not over your performance from last year.
Yes.
I love it. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely go watch it on the Alma Dance Team page. But yeah, speaking of national championships, those seem to be kind of common under your leadership. How many national championships is that now for the Alma Dance Team, and maybe how that works with the different routines and stuff like that?
So we compete in 2 divisions or 2 categories. So we compete in jazz and then hip hop. We have 2 new rings that we just got this past weekend. And so this is our last season. We won our 11th national title.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, so that's not including the Grand National Championship, and then 1 year we won a battle round too. But so 11 total in 10 years.
Yeah, so as you just mentioned, you just got, the 2 rings this past weekend. Those ring ceremonies are probably really special moments to bring back alumni, celebrate, the dancers that are still students here, and kind of just reflect on, the years past. So yeah, really big congratulations on that. Thanks. But can you tell us a little bit more about the experience and what that means to your student athletes of having success and winning that national championship after working all year for it?
Yeah, well, we're in the middle of it right now. Like March is our crazy month. I don't know if anyone's really sleeping, but going to class and doing dance team. Those are the two important things right now. But I mean, the rings are just, they're just a product of the hard work they put in. Like March is my favorite month. April's great. April's when you go potentially collect the trophy, but like you really win in March. March is where you like grind and you make the most progress, and you're right? Like that moment right before like it really counts is when you really define your season and who they are as people.
Yeah.
It goes on to life too. That goes on to past athletics, past dance, past basketball, everything else. Like if they can really be a good teammate, be coachable, be adaptable. Champions adjust, as Sarah Dehring always says, like anything that comes at them, if they can pivot and do something better with that, then they'll take that on with them after college. So we love the rings, we love winning, but really like it's what happens before that matters the most to us.
Yeah, so kind of looking ahead, what's in store for your upcoming trip to nationals, just in under a month now, just a few weeks away. Yeah. And what are you most excited for about your team?
22 days away, I believe, 22 days. We have a younger team this year, so we had a good incoming class, and our freshmen are really strong. So they're all on floor and competing for us. And then we had some dancers from our game day team that we moved up to our competitive team this year too. So it's just overall, it's a younger team that's competing at nationals, but gosh, they're so strong, and it's going to be a good year. I kind of have goosebumps thinking about it already because we're really setting our own personal best, and I'm really just excited for everyone to see what we've been working on so hard. So
yeah, I'm excited to see too. So because you guys do showcases and stuff here.
You should come with us.
To nationals?
Yeah. Are you free? Yeah, come on.
Unfortunately, that week is the busiest week for my tennis season. I have 3 matches that week. Okay. Otherwise, I would definitely take you up on that.
I'll go.
Yeah.
There's alums that go, so graduate.
Okay. Yes.
While wrapping up, what do you hope your student athletes take with them after graduating from Alma?
Yeah, and we'd love to hear from all of you guys too.
I hope they take, that they've really grown as a person and of course a player, but really I think that 18 to 22-year-old age is such a great time to really find yourself, find confidence, and be ready to attack that next step. So I hope that as they leave here, they're confident in who they are and what they're going to go attack, and that they can look back and just be so thankful for everything they've had.
Yeah, and kind of like Tracy talked about, is being able to be resourceful and push through hard things. And my high school wrestling coach talked about it. Wrestling is the means, the man is the outcome. So it's awesome to really see that we're growing great young men and young women in our wrestling program. So it's awesome to see that, and that's what I want them to gather, is that they can do hard things and push through and be who they truly want to be.
Yeah,
I just want them to look back and be proud of what they did and proud of who they've become by the time they graduate.
Yeah, that's really great to hear. So thank you guys for all you do to support and inspire Alma's student athletes. And now I'm going to grab this laptop for our donation update.
Yes.
So I'll give it to Yaw next.
Yes. So, if you're watching along with us, we'd like you to support Alma. Head to alma.edu/Alma Day 2026. Right here at the top of the page, you can see our progress toward $200,000 goal, along with the number of donors we have already participated today. Right now, currently, we have $74,698, which is pretty surreal and exciting. As you scroll down, you can choose exactly where you'd like the gift to go, and that includes athletics. Each Alma Athletics program has its own page with custom videos on it made by coaches. On this page, you can learn more about what kind of support they're looking for, whether that's equipment, travel, experiences, recruiting resources, or overall program needs. So if a particular sport or team holds a special place in your heart, you can support them directly right here. And gifts to athletics don't just support competition, but support leadership development, teamwork, and...
All right. So yeah, thank you, Yaw, for kind of telling us about the donation update and everything. We're gonna shift gears a little bit here, and we are next going to have another guest here with us today. So let's see here. We're gonna go
to a video.
Yes, we're going to a video next.
Yes, we are. For students, organizations to leadership opportunities to experiences that make Alma feel like home. Campus life plays a huge role in the Alma College experience. So let's take a look at what campus life looks like for Alma College.
That video really captures what it feels like to be a student at Alma, and campus life plays a really huge role in creating those experiences that we just saw.
So joining us now are one person who know incredible things about Alma College. Please welcome Brendan Murdie. Thank you for coming today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's great.
Yeah, to get us started, can you share your title, your role, and kind of what your day-to-day work looks like within student engagement here at Alma?
Yeah, so I have a big, long title. I'm the Assistant Director of Student Engagement, Student Activities, and Student Organizations. So basically what that means is I plan different activities for students. I oversee our student organizations, so both through Student Congress, which was Vice President for a while, as well as the other student organizations as well. So I help them through some of their transition processes year over year when they elect new officers. I do all kinds of different trainings and stuff to help them make their student organizations the best that they can be. And then, like I said, I also plan different activities and events both on campus and off campus, actually, too, which is a lot of fun. So.
Yeah. So, for alumni watching today who maybe have not been back on campus recently, what does campus life look like for students today, maybe in comparison to maybe what it looked like even 5 or 10 or 15 years ago?
Yeah, so we have about 80 or so student organizations right now. It kind of fluctuates depending on the year and how many organizations get registered, and then how many don't make it through the summer because, they're important people graduate or whatever it might be. But we have about 80 or so. There are all kinds of different clubs and student orgs. So we have some academic focused orgs that are very tied to their major, think IPHS club, pre-physical therapy club, history club, art club. There's a lot of different clubs that are focused on academics, but we also have a lot of just random fun clubs or kind of more things that are tied towards special interests. So one of our big ones that always goes on a bunch of trips each year is the rock climbing club. So they go to around the country to different locations where obviously there's more rock climbing opportunities than Alma, Michigan. And then we also have different clubs. There's a squirrel club who they don't do much other than take pictures of campus squirrels and then post them on Instagram. So there's varying levels to the involvement and the intensity of each of these clubs, but all of them different ways provide different opportunities for students to go to conferences or to just have some fun times with and meet new people and find belonging at Alma. So.
Yeah. So tell us about the events. There's the Alma College Union Board, originally everybody calls it here ACUB, is putting on Celebrate Alma Day today. So tell us a little about what they're doing right
now. So I am lucky to be the advisor for ACUB, the staff advisor. So I kind of help them through their budgeting and their planning for different events and stuff like that. But it's basically student run. And so we partnered with them over here in Advancement to do a couple events today. So we have one that's kind of just saga sitting or at Hamilton Commons. And we have a spinner wheel where you have some Alma College trivia and stuff. So students can get some small little prizes and stuff for just participating in that. So if you go to Saga today for lunch, hope to see you there. But we also have our big event in the evening is our casino night. So ACUB does this event every year and it's always super popular. This year we actually are bringing in some some actual like professional dealers as well.
Oh.
So that is at 7 p.m. in Tyler Van Duzen. And so they're going to be hosting that event. And then we also have some prizes provided by advancement and stuff too, based on how many or students completing different activities and stuff related to Alma Day too. So there's a lot of different prizes to earn. Students get to go do some fake gambling essentially at the event, and then they get to win raffle tickets to then put in some prizes and stuff. So it's a good time for that.
Nice. Now your role kind of encompasses all of Alma College life. Fraternity and sorority life has been really growing and evolving. Can you talk about what's happening in that space and the role FSL plays within the campus life?
Yeah, for sure. So FSL is a huge part of campus. I don't know the exact percentage of the students that are involved in FSL, but it's pretty high. And they're always some of our most involved and most engaged students on campus. And they are really, really great at service opportunities that are available to them and taking advantage of those. But they also are really going strong in the academics. Our average FSL student has a higher GPA than non-FSL students, which is kind of going against what the public may think of FSL. Exactly. And so that's an interesting point. But some of the changes that have happened in the last few years really is for a very, very long time we did the main recruitment in the fall or in the winter actually. But over the last few years we've switched it to the main recruitment season being right in the fall, pretty soon after students come back to campus. And so we found that that's helped students really find belonging much quicker when they're on campus because they have that opportunity to find an org that fits their belief system, fits their ideals and what they want to strive for while they're at college. Helps them find that much quicker, which is really important for our students. So.
I'm a fellow Sigma Chi, and so we are very proud on our GPA. We have the highest fraternity GPA. Just want to shout that out for all the Sigma Chi alumni out there. So that's pretty exciting, pretty cool. So we do a lot.
Yeah, and Alma Day, is all about connection. And what are some ways alumni can engage with students through campus life today?
Yeah, so we have a few different opportunities. The big one, obviously, is homecoming, which advancement takes the lead on. But I also help out with some stuff that goes on throughout the week. We do our Royal Scots, which is our homecoming court and everything. And we have a committee that puts together and reviews all the applications and the materials and stuff for that. We also I'm involved in planning the homecoming parade, so that's a way for alumni to get involved as well. But you're also always welcome to come to all the different events at homecoming, obviously. We have some more student-focused stuff going on throughout the week, like a scavenger hunt and other stuff like that. We have usually a trivia event at Blockhouse for the past couple of years downtown, which is always a good time. So alumni are obviously welcome to come to that kind of stuff too. But in addition to that, one of the things that I talked about earlier a little bit was those off-campus trips. And so for those, there are two of them that we tend to are looking at bringing some alumni to. So one of them is a day trip for our students to go to Chicago. So this Saturday, actually, we'll have about 50 or so students come to Chicago. We provide transportation and all that kind of stuff to students. And then we, with advancement, we set up an event at Giordano's in Chicago to have some pizza. I think there's going to be 13 alumni or something there. So there's always opportunities like that. The other one, we've looked into doing another event, which we haven't quite gotten to yet. But we also do a trip for students to a musical or some theater production that's usually in Detroit or Lansing or Grand Rapids. Just kind of depends on what shows and what musicals are being played that year. But we've looked into doing some alumni-related events for that kind of thing too. So kind of go to a dinner or a lunch with alumni, and then go to your musical or your theater production. So this past year, last year we did Wicked, I think, and then the year before that was Hadestown. And then this year we did Phantom of the Opera too. So those are always really good opportunities, and because we're traveling, there's often a lot of times opportunities to meet alumni in those different areas too. So that's something we're looking at doing more in the future too.
Perfect.
Yeah, and I know there's other opportunities. Like I went to the Lions game in November through Alma, where I paid $40 I think it was, but it included transportation, my ticket, and snacks. So that was really fun. But you guys also do Cedar Point too, so that's another big one. Yeah. So that's really cool to hear about. But you, Brendan, are an Alma alum. What made you want to continue your Alma journey in working here post grad?
For sure, yeah. So I think the biggest thing was the connections that I made with faculty and staff. So I was a history and political science major, and that doesn't have a lot of like super clear career paths a lot of the time. But I've always kind of just been a person who's kind of just gone with the flow a little bit and kind of expect things will come to me and will work out, and that's served me pretty well for the most part. But that also meant that I was a little aimless towards the end of my career, and maybe I should have been going to like career services department and everything like that. But I think it was more so like the people that I talked to, the people that I met in both faculty and staff, and the on-campus job that I had really kind of led me to exploring working in higher ed as a more realistic option. It didn't really hit me that was like a career path until like my senior year, when I was like, oh, like I kind of need to figure out what I'm going to be doing post-grad. And so I think I talked with both my mentors, both faculty and staff, Dr. Cartwright in the political science department at the time, and he kind of helped guide me into some different areas and helped me kind of eliminate some choices more really than guiding me in a specific direction, but that was still very helpful. And then I also talked to Laura Rieger, who's also now my supervisor too, when I was a senior first year guide, which is one of our orientation leaders essentially. And she kind of helped me explore higher education as a field, a career field, and kind of going into that. And so I think that opportunity to work at Alma post-grad was mainly due to those connections that I built throughout my time here. And then, helping having those mentors help me explore those options available to me.
And one final question. What's one campus life experience you hope every student takes advantage of?
For sure. I mean, I'm a little biased, but I think I'm going to cheat a little. I'm going to have two answers. So the first one is the off-campus trips. And I guess that is kind of one answer because both of them are off-campus trips. But one is the excursions that I do. So those trips to like the Lions games, Your Point, musical, and then Chicago. Those are great opportunities for students, especially like our international students who might not have the transportation available to them to go to other places around Michigan and around the Midwest, really. So that's one part that I really think. I've had a few students who are from like super rural areas of Michigan, and like a couple years ago when we went to Chicago, she was like, "Oh my God, like all these buildings are huge," and so it's fun to hear all the reactions from students from more rural areas or from international students who wouldn't necessarily have the opportunity to go out as often as we would if we didn't provide these opportunities. But then in addition to that, the other off-campus trip that I think are really, really impactful that they run out of the 3CE are the alternative break trips. I have been a staff supervisor on that like 3 or 4 times now at this point, and those are always super, super impactful trips for students to go on. And this last one that I went to in the winter, I supervised a group of 12 students with another chaperone, and we went to New Orleans and did some replanting of trees to help restore the wetlands there and everything. And it was a really good experience for all of our students, and we got to experience some of the cultural stuff in New Orleans too. So.
Wow, really cool to hear about all you had to say. Working here and also being an alum. But yeah, thank you so much for everything you do every day to help students feel connected and supported at Alma, because the college transition can be hard sometimes, and the things you guys do definitely make it a lot easier.
Yes. Up next is a video that highlights the work being done to support students and build community at Alma College. Let's take a look.
Belonging means that our students feel valued and they matter here at Alma College. Through my role as Chief Diversity Officer, it's my job to make sure that every student finds their place here at Alma College and they feel that they belong here and they can be transformed here at Alma College.
Belonging to me means that I'm comfortable with all the students that I have in the classes. I've felt welcome and like I can be myself without judgment.
Belonging means to me that I can have a large network of friends, trusted adults, mentors that I can seek advice from. I found this by trusting others around me and just by opening up more.
I chose Alma College because it felt like a perfect fit for me. When I came here on my football visit, it just was a beautiful vibe to be around. All the coaches and players were family oriented. It felt like I belong. I feel protected, safe. I feel like I'm a part of this community.
Belonging is everything. If I feel like I belong, my authentic leadership self comes out. Feeling like you belong helps you to show all the power that you have. No matter who you look like, no matter where you're from, I want you to feel like you belong here.
The Diversity and Inclusion Office is a safe space for students of any background to go and talk about whatever your needs may be.
I can go in the Diversity and Inclusion Office and I know that there's going to be somebody in there to greet me, make me smile, help me with anything that I need, and just make my day 10 times better.
The Diversity and Inclusion Office plays a huge role in my life. Like whenever I feel down or even when I'm happy, I just know I can pop in the Diversity and Inclusion Office. Anyone who's in there, they're always there to pick me up and help me through everything.
My role here at Alma College is really to be an advocate for the student experience. We want to make sure that all of our students have a transformational experience outside the classroom.
I received the opportunity to lead several initiatives, one being our cultural programming. The main job is to make sure our students see glimpses of themselves as they come through campus. The Links program is a program that happens before school starts. 30 to 40 students of color get a chance to get together, so they get a chance to meet vice presidents and our president before class start to kind of get a vision of what their life can be like on this campus.
So my special memories when we went to the Links retreat at the beginning of the semester. I was able to familiarize myself with people that were going to be in my classes for the upcoming years that I have here. There I was able to meet my mentor Natalia. She was able to help me pursue my passions and just to help me become more confident in myself overall.
I was in the Links program, so I moved in a day earlier than everybody else. Me and my roommate, we were the only girls on the floor. So when I was moving in, all the boys, they came back from practice and they just greeted me like we were friends forever. And I was like, this is where I belong.
For those students who are thinking that Alma College is the place where they want to transition, where they want to lay their hats and dreams, I say this is the place to do it. We have a lot of faculty and staff, just like me, who want to make sure that your dreams come to fruition. I've worked for different places before, and the amount of support that we give our students here is unmatched.
I would tell a prospective student that Alma College is a place where you will be transformed during your next 4 years. Don't sit back, don't wait for it to happen, jump all in and fully engage in the Alma experience.
Highlights the important work happening across campus to make sure every student feels supported and valued here at Alma College.
And joining us now is someone who helps lead that work every single day. Please welcome Dr. Jon Glenn, Alma College's Director of Diversity and Inclusion. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, to get us started, can you share a little bit of like a high-level overview of your role at Alma and what your day-to-day life and work looks like as the Director of Diversity and Inclusion?
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much, for being here. I love being with two seniors.
Yes.
So yeah, my office is an office that we hustle every single day with the main goal of making sure our students feel like they belong. So on 3 high levels, we work on cultural programming, we work on mentorship, and we work on leadership. Yeah. So we celebrate all the major cultural holidays in the office. We do that around some good food, some music, and a lot of relationships. So we dance a lot, we learn a lot about history, and it's for students who see themselves in that culture, but also students who don't know anything about the culture. We want to give them the opportunity to learn more about someone else's lens. 2, mentorship. I got my dissertation work in mentorship, so I understand the importance of what a mentor can do to help a student feel like they belong and to help them kind to navigate space that may be new for them. And the last one is leadership. I'm 45. I don't think y'all have to wait to be 45 to be a leader. You could be a leader now, and actually both of you have, which is pretty cool. So we teach leadership through our office. We want our students to be a leader on the field, off the field, in the classroom, and in their future career. So we teach them leadership skills right now. So mentorship, leadership, and cultural programming is what we focus on the most.
Now, your office really oversees several important initiatives, including the JCLLC, Campbell Scholars, and the KCP Mentees. Can you talk about these programs and the impact they've had on students?
Oh, yeah. So JCLLC is one of our live and learning communities on campus. Our freshman students live in Gelston Hall, and that kind of walks alongside with the Campbell Scholars, which kind of focus on our students from Detroit. But the main goal is going back to that mentorship word. We want to make sure that we're helping students at one of the most important transitions is high school success to that first semester success in college. So we're together. We do study tables. We travel the state together. We work on relationships, mentorship, and also leadership within the community. And the cool part about it is the older junior and seniors from the community, they help us mentor the freshmen and sophomore. So, you know, it works very, very well. And then the last one was who? You said?
The KCP mentee.
KCP mentorship program. And again, it focuses on, you know, students from all over campus. You know, some people may look at the name of my office and think that, you know, a lot of our stuff is just for students of color, but if you find yourself in the need of a mentor, we're here to serve you. And our mentorship program does a great job with our retention numbers too, to make sure that students feel like they belong, and we you know, make sure that they stay here on campus.
Yeah, that's really nice to hear. I'm curious on what kinds of events and programs does your office host to support students and really build community across campus? And if you have a favorite, please tell us.
Yeah, I mean, we're going back to our, you know, our cultural celebrations where we get together around good music and good food. You know, I am what you call a foodie. You know, I grew up with some great cooks in the family. So when we have these cultural events, we want authentic food there.
Yeah.
You know, one of the coolest ones is Fiesta Ballet. We always have some of the best music and best food, and we celebrate a plethora of different cultures within the Latin, you know, community.
Yeah.
When students are involved in programs like these, like Fiesta Ballet, what kind of outcomes do you see, especially when it comes to student engagement and retention? You kind of touched on it, but could you elaborate on it?
You start to see students begin to become consistent. Maybe they come in for that cultural program first, but then they kind of see me in person, they see me around their friends, and they notice one word: consistency. And once consistency and leadership is seen, they begin to come back to the office for those personal needs and personal help, maybe spiritual help, maybe big brother help, you know, whatever it is. Once students begin to see that you are a real transformational leader, they will come back.
Yeah, and from your perspective, you know, what do you think truly sets Alma College apart when it comes to supporting the entire student experience with the work you do?
Wow, it has to be the relationships. We get a chance, you know, I could say what separates us from other places is I'm not there. But anyway.
True.
But we are a very close-knit campus. We care about the whole full package of the student, not how many touchdowns you get from me, not about your 4.0. I care about the whole full, I care about your mental, your spiritual health, and your physical health. So that's what we do well here. When you leave here, we want you to come back for homecoming 10 years from now. That is not just a 4.0. That's relationship, and that's community, and that's what we do really well here.
Yeah, and why do you think it's so important for students to feel, you know, a sense of belonging during their time here in college? I know you just alluded to it with coming back to homecoming and stuff, but what other kind of things go into that, do you think?
Community is everything. When I left Saginaw, Michigan, and I went to Central Michigan, you know, a city not mine, I found my community, and it helped me feel like I belong. So it was easier to study. It was easier to find my why. Community helps that out. And we, you know, like we help our students not to just find one community, because you know, I work with a lot of football players. I don't want football to be the only community, so we help push them to find a second or third community. So, and again, just like I said before, community is the reason why you come back for homecoming, not because you were honors, not because you had a 4.0. It's the community at Alma that you found that gets you to come back to celebrate and say "Go Scots" when you see people in public.
On a personal note, what has been a favorite Alma memory or experience for you so far?
Oh, graduation. It is like the worst day, but best day of my life. Because you see these people you pour so much into walk across that stage. I know the personal stories. I know the struggle of my students. You know, I'm sitting next to one right now. And watching someone walk across the stage that you have walked alongside with, and you see them get that one piece of the goal of their destiny done. Oh my gosh. You know, I'm not a parent of a college student yet. You know, one day I will be. But that's probably the best day of my professionalism, is watching those students get that piece of paper in their hand.
Yeah, and I know so many students have opportunities to interact with you. Something we've talked about kind of consistently on the live stream is the football team going to Scotland. And Dr. Glenn here was actually one of my professors. And Dr. Andre, who we saw earlier, he was also one of the professors. So I know for me, that was a really great experience, like getting to learn from you two, you know, from our 2 weeks in Scotland and then the 2 weeks when we came back and did our final projects and everything. But I'm curious, are you planning to go also like to Scotland again because Coach Couch said that they're starting to plan the next trip. So
I've already been contacted.
Oh,
I'm
good.
actually going to Finland this
Oh,
year.
yeah.
Yes,
in a
Dr.
few months.
Hartman, yes.
Nice.
Yes, I'm going to Finland and Estonia, so I'm very, very excited
Oh, yes.
to venture out.
We
to those
had a
countries.
donation
From Estonia.
earlier.
Oh, I just put that all
And,
together.
and I get to meet them when we're there.
Oh my gosh.
Well, tell them thank you.
Yes, I get to meet them. So.
Very cool, very cool. So yeah, programs like these ones that Dr. Glenn described and we talked about are made possible through the generosity of alumni and friends. Up next, we'll check in with another donation update and see how Alma Day is going so far. But first, Yaw is going to say goodbye to the live stream and go to class.
Yes. Thank you to everyone who has tuned in and supported our students today. It's been an honor to be part of the first ever Alma Day live stream. We will be taking a very brief break and we'll be right back with our new host, the Senior Director of Alumni and Family Engagement, Sarah Dehring. I'm sorry. It's always a beautiful day to smile, and it's a great day to be a Scot. Thank you all for being a part of our morning.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Sarah Dehring. I am the Senior Director of Alumni and Family Engagement. Alma Day has been so fun so far. How about a big shout out to Yaw and Holly? I have known them since they were first-year students and got to watch them grow, and it's been really fun. Actually, one of my first memories of Holly is it was around this time of the year, and we had a really bad snowstorm. I came up over the hill. School was canceled. We weren't supposed to be off campus, and Holly was stuck in a snowbank. So I dug out my shovel and taught her quickly how to uncover a car. So I told her I was going to tell that story when we got on here. But just want to, again, just thank everybody for their participation today. We have had over 100 donors today. So that is just a huge shout out to all of you, alumni, family, friends that have been engaged throughout the time. We're going to do a quick donation update. It looks like we're up to $82,237 today. Oh, let's get one of these. Let's go, Scott. Woo! All right. So, you know, when props come flying in, you know it's a good Alma Day. But do want to give a shout out to a few people that have did some big lead donations building up to today, but also made some significant gifts. So Kim Taylor, Julie Hubbard, Greg Hatcher, the Marble Mead Giving Fund, Dale Nestor, Andy Sexton, Jason Couch, Steve Falk, Clinton Crow, Carol and Paul Burns, George and Melinda Polanco, Doug and Michelle Merrick, and Bob Murray, and our board chair, Erica Powers-Pelt. And we have had a number of anonymous donors come in as well. So it's been a really great day so far. We're keeping the energy going. For those of you that have not seen the video, for those of you that love Pizza Sam's, we are doing, anybody that gives $5,000 on Alma Day, I will hand deliver you a Pizza Sam's pizza anywhere in the lower 48. So excited to be traveling and seeing our alumni. And I've been in this role over a year now and just met some really incredible people. And, the people that love Alma College love it for a reason. And it's been a really, really special time moving into this role after being with athletics for the past 14 years. So Alma's a special place. I always tell people when I meet them that, we're not just preparing graduates for the 4 years that they're here, but for the next 40 years of their lives. And that's why I really love Alma College. And I think it's a really, really special place for that. So we will have the opportunity to meet some students as we continue on through the live stream. But we are going to go pretty soon here into a video for our choir and Carnegie Hall trip that's coming up. So.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Nicole Matfeld, and I'm the Director of Choral Activities at Alma College in Alma, Michigan. I am so excited to invite you to perform with me on the iconic Carnegie Hall stage on March 7th, 2027. We will be performing Morton Lauridsen's gorgeous Lux Aeterna. As someone who has had the experience of singing on that stage about 20 years ago when I was in high school, I can attest to the magical moment that concert will be for you. I promise you will never forget singing on this stage. I sincerely hope that you can join me, and I look forward to working with you.
All right, what a great video. All right, we are here today with Catie and Killian. We do want to send some special love out to Dr. Matfield as well. She was supposed to be here today, but was unable to attend. So I'm just sending her some love. But Catie, Killian, welcome to the live stream.
Thank
here.
you.
Happy Alma Day.
Happy Alma Day.
Yeah, let's, why don't you go ahead and tell us just a little bit about yourselves and just a little bit about your experiences here at Alma and as part of the choir.
Sure. I am a junior, so I graduate next year. I joined choir my freshman year, right in first semester. I was originally in chorale, and then my sophomore year I joined Alma Choir, which is the big choir that is going to Carnegie Hall. And I've been performing ever since I was a kid. Like, I started performing in musicals and stuff like that when I was 7, and then I joined choir starting in high school, and now I'm still in choir now. So.
My name is Killian. I am also a junior here at Alma. I'm a communications major, theater minor. I'm in the choir on campus, our male a cappella group, Scot on the Rocks, as well as our music fraternity, Phi Mu Alpha. So I do a whole lot of singing. That's kind of my whole shtick on campus. But I also play on our Overwatch esports team. Yeah, I'm excited to talk to you all today.
Fantastic. Well, again, welcome and really excited. And I've gotten to know Catie a little bit. She was a little undercover in Homecoming. We won't tell you what, maybe she was somebody famous that all of you know and love, Scotty, for Homecoming. So that was a fun time. Catie, why don't you talk a little bit about why you chose Alma?
Oh, that's such a good question. I wanted to go to Alma. I knew about Alma because my mom graduated from here, but I never thought I would go here. And then I toured. And it was, I mean, people say, you kind of know when you know. And I came here and it felt like home, and I met so many people that truly loved Alma and knew how to talk about it and talked about the experiences and the opportunities. And I wanted that, and I wanted to be given those opportunities too. And they gave
so they just had so much love for it, and I was like, I want to love this place too, and just really inspired me to come here.
What about you? Tell me.
I'm actually from Alma, like the community, and so Alma College has been literally right around the bend my whole life. And so I've spent a lot of time on campus before I was even a student, but what really drew me to campus as a collegiate student was all the opportunities that I'm offered. So like I said, I'm a communications major, but I'm still able to participate in this high-performing level of choir that I was super interested in performing in without having to be a music major. I still struggle to sight read half the time, but I really appreciate all of those opportunities that I was granted. Like to play on the esports team, for example, too, and be able to have time for all these extracurriculars. That's really what drew me here in general.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So I heard both of you say the word opportunities a few times. And, another thing that I like to say is, so choir is a part of your identity, but it's not what defines you. And so you're able to be at Alma College and you're able to get involved with all of these other things.
Yeah.
But what's one of the best experiences or one of your favorite memories from being a part of choir?
Ooh, I have a good one.
All right.
My sophomore year, so last year we went on choir tour, which normally, it depends on where we go, but last year we just toured around Michigan, and we went to different churches and schools, high school classes, and had performances at night, and just the whole choir got to spend time together, and it really, we were a family before, but this just, we got to hang out every day and perform every day and tell high school students about why we loved Alma and why we loved singing with this choir. It was so amazing.
To jump on that too, that was one of my favorite opportunities as well. This is silly, of course. She mentioned all of getting to perform and everything, but my favorite memory of that tour is we had a little break at Great Wolf Lodge. That was super fun. I was playing the Magic Quest with my friends with the wands. We were at the water park all day long. So same tour, but it brought us together as a nice kind of big family together. It was very, very fun.
That's amazing. Excellent. Yeah, those trips, those experiences, you just learn so much about each other, about, in general. That's a good time. Can you talk a little bit about, so with choir, what's different between this experience being part of the choir and music at Alma College than is different than any other music experience you've had in the past?
Oh, I would say, and she's not here, but Dr. Matfeld makes the biggest difference. She is so passionate about her work, and she's so good at it, and makes us want to be better and want to come to class. And I don't think that we definitely could not do it without her. She's so incredible, and it just sounds like I'm just praising her, but I am, and she's absolutely amazing, and she makes us, I learn more, I want to come to class more often. She's excited, I'm excited, and it gets everybody excited, and she makes all the difference.
Same thing. She would tell you if she was here that she would say the whole time basically that their last year was one major and one minor in our choir.
Yep.
So she talks about this all the time, so it's kind of an inside joke with us, but that's a very proud thing for me, and in that we are a very high performing choir with a very low level of the academic side of music, which is super cool. You don't find that a lot of places.
Okay.
A lot of places, if you go to a school, you have to be a music major or a music minor to be in the choir, especially in the highest level choir. And so it's very rare to be able to have such great opportunity with the choir and not have to be involved academically per se in the music major or anything. So definitely that for sure.
Yeah, that well-rounded Alma College experience.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm hearing a theme. I love it. I love it. All right. So speaking of, experiences, Carnegie Hall. Let's talk a little bit about that. Let's hear about it. So it's March of 27.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
March
That's
of
the plan.
27. So what are you most excited about?
Oh my gosh, I've been to New York one time, and never would I have ever thought that I would get to perform at Carnegie Hall. I went, and I went with my high school choir, and we saw a show, and I was like, oh, how amazing would it be to be performing up there? And now we actually are, which is so amazing. I would have never expected that, and I'm excited because it's around the same time that we had choir tour last year, and I think it's going to be just like that, and we're gonna have new people now. 3 years of new people.
Yeah.
Which is exciting.
It's also, we're bringing in alumni, we're bringing in, my dad's gonna
Mhm.
come sing with us.
That's
And so
amazing.
that's
Okay.
something I've never got to experience. I've done
Okay.
shows with my dad. I've been doing performing arts in theater, of course, for a long, long time, but I've never gotten the chance to participate in a choir with my father. And so being able to go with him, I'm super excited. Of course, I get to hang out with all my friends, and we're gonna have the choir tour memories and things of, you know, hanging out in New York. I mean, that's gonna be awesome. But that's gonna be a really fun experience too, to have the opportunity to sing with all of these graduated students and things. I've loved that when they've come back for Masterworks, like alumni singing with us. So really, really cool opportunity for us.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I know that we've been, you know, kind of starting to push this out to alumni and friends of Alma College, but, you know, if you're interested, let us know. We've got folks that are going to be going, and Dr. Matfield's been working really hard on that. You saw the video as we were coming into this session, but what a great experience for all of you, for our alumni, for our, you know, our current students. So, you know, anything last to share that you'd like to say before you head off stage?
I love choir, and if you've ever thought about singing or just enjoy singing by yourself, like, absolutely think about joining. Like Killian said, you don't have to be a music major or know a lot about music. We're just so happy to have people, and it's a great learning experience and a great community to be a part of.
Matt always saying you don't have to be like a singer to sing, anybody can sing. And so if she were here, she would literally pull you into her office for an audition.
Yep.
This is just the thing
You
she
know,
does.
Steve, I was joking with her. I was like, if you come up, I'm gonna be like, oh, you know,
And
like,
you're in.
I'm ready.
And you made it.
I'm ready. Like, sign me
Come
up.
sing with
Let's
us.
We
go.
have rehearsal tonight, so
All
you'll
right.
be there.
Well, thank you both
You're very welcome.
so much. Next up, we will be meeting with the 3CE folks, and so we are about to roll a video about the 3CE.
The Center for College and Community Engagement, which we like to call the 3CE, is a hub for connecting campus to the world beyond campus. So we connect students with opportunities, programs, resources to take what they're learning in the classroom and apply it in the world. Students have opportunities to get involved in the community through things like alternative breaks, service, internship, and employment opportunities, community engaged courses, and of course their Alma Venture experiences, which again provides funding to take what they're learning in the classroom and apply it in the world beyond campus.
At Alma College, the classroom doesn't end at the boundaries of the campus. So many of our classes are really intended to bring students into a broader community and have them working with that community. When you look out at the broader world, there are probably all sorts of challenges that you see, all sorts of things that you value and that you find really important. But the question becomes, how are you going to actually use your college education as a tool to allow you to engage with those things? And that's, I think, the thing that we really offer. Virtually every student will have an opportunity to do something in the community that will really prove that they can apply what they do in the classroom to the broader world. And that is a kind of breadth that very few other institutions have.
The 3CE and the ACE scholarship is allowing me to gain like actual real world teaching experience with grading stuff, talking to actual students, physically teaching music and being in the classroom every week, and it really gives me the opportunity that other students don't have, and I'm very excited about it. I'm very passionate about it, and I love working with my students, and I love seeing them like come to my concerts and come say hi. It's so sweet.
I received a venture grant to pay for my spring term, and I was fortunate enough to go to Ecuador, where we studied medicinal plants in the Amazon through these indigenous groups. We lived with the indigenous tribe, and we were assigned a specific plant, and as we were hiking through the Amazon, we had to look for that plant. And then once we found it, we were able to press it and basically learn the medicinal purposes of that plant. It does not have a direct impact on my future career, but it definitely brought a different perspective. It allowed me to be okay in uncomfortable situations. It kind of provided me with the confidence to just go for it.
I'm involved with the 3CE by taking part in many different programs that they have to offer. So last school year, I traveled to California to attend the American Democracy Summit, and then I've used my venture grant to take a spring term course to Germany, where I learned about the Holocaust and the Cold War. And I also took part of the Posey Global program, where I spent 4 weeks in Ecuador volunteering in a preschool.
I'm involved with 3CE as the president of the Alternative Breaks Club here on campus. I have been involved with 11 alternative breaks total. I have also used my venture grant to travel to Florida through the Teacher Leader spring term. And I'm also an ACE scholar here on campus. And I didn't realize that service was going to be such a big part of my life, but I'm leaving Alma College knowing that it's something I want to keep a priority, whether I'm involving it with my students every day or I'm making that a full-time career in some way.
When students graduate from Alma College, they will be well prepared to articulate not only what they learned in college, but how they apply that in the world and how that engagement prepares them to contribute to their team, their organization, their community. The Center for College and Community Engagement supports Alma College's mission to prepare graduates who think critically, serve generously, lead purposefully, and live responsibly. And that begins from their very first semester as they begin to engage with our community.
3CE does provide so many different opportunities for involvement. You can tailor something to what would benefit you and the community the most in terms of like your future career or something that you're more passionate about. Don't be afraid to ask like what more you can do.
I believe that service should be made a priority in your life, not only to help others, but it really helps you grow as a person. So whether you're getting involved through Venture Grant, Posey Global, Alternative Breaks, there's an opportunity out there for you, and I think that it's great to take advantage of those.
That's the thing that I've heard time and time again from students, is that it's those collaborative moments with the broader world that made them realize why what they were doing here at Alma College was so important, why it was something that was going to be transformational for themselves and ultimately for their communities.
You belong here. You're welcome here, not only on Alma College's campus, but in Alma, Michigan, in Central Michigan. There is a place for you to get involved, to have an impact, and to explore who you are and your place in the world.
Right, how about that video introducing the 3CE Study Abroad and Alternative Break. We're here with Carla Jensen and Reagan Kaiser, representing a student. And what is your exact title, Carla? You want to talk a little bit about that and kind of some of the things that you do?
Well, I'm the director of the Center for College and Community Engagement, which we like to call the 3CE for short. And what we do in the 3CE, we're kind of that hub for connecting campus to the world beyond campus. So we connect private programs and funding that connect students to opportunities to do volunteer work, internships, study abroad. We work with community engaged courses like our first year seminar, really everything that's like applying what you're learning out in the world.
Yeah, and the students go, like they work with your office for the Venture Grant, which we did just receive a $2,500 donation to the Venture program from an anonymous donor. So thank you so much. Dollars keep rolling in, and it's been, again, a great Alma Day. And so that's very exciting news. So do you want to talk a little bit about that process and how the Venture program kind of works?
Yeah, absolutely. So Venture provides funding for applied experiences. Every student can apply for funding to do something that takes what they're learning in the classroom, applies it in the world in some way that prepares them for success after Alma. So that looks different for different students. It could be anything from right here on campus, doing research with a professor, a local internship, all the way to study abroad on the other side of the world.
Fantastic. Can you talk a little bit about some of the places maybe some of the students have traveled this year and some of their experiences maybe that they've had?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of students will apply for venture funding to support our faculty-led spring term travel experiences. This year, they're getting ready to go to study backpack filmmaking in Italy, biodiversity in the Galapagos, circadian rhythms in Finland, and of course the choir tour, which we were just hearing about, going to Italy and Scotland. So there'll be Scots all over the world during spring term. But students can also apply for this funding to help support individual projects like internships and other career preparations and explorations. So one of my favorites from this past year was a student who was pre-physical therapy, a member of Alma's dance team, and at a dance competition was able to connect with the physical therapist supporting the dancers, and it really just expanded her idea of what's possible, right? You could be a physical therapist who works with dancers as that focus. So she was able to use venture funding to go shadow that physical therapist in that specialist practice. So really something that takes what you're doing in the classroom, applies it in the world, and then just opens new doors professionally.
Fantastic, fantastic. So Reagan, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what's your major, and then kind of how you got involved with, service and at Alma College.
So I'm from a hometown that's quite nearby. I'm from Hemlock.
Okay.
I'm a biochemistry major, and I'm involved in iGEM. I'm also involved in chemistry club, but I'm also a site leader for alternative breaks, which is through the 3CE, which I find to be so good for my development.
So one thing that, Alma's mission, 3CE, alternative breaks, those speak so much to Alma College's mission. Can you talk a little bit about what that mission means to you as a student, and, maybe tie it in with some of the alternative breaks and some of the experiences that you've done?
Yeah, of course. So Alternative Breaks has a very similar mission statement as the college does, but the ones that really stick out to me is live responsibly and lead purposely.
Yeah.
So through my spring term experience, I went through an IDS course to Costa Rica where we looked at ecotourism and it's how it influences development of Costa Rica's democracy and economy. It was a combined course between political science and biology.
Yeah.
And while we were there, we learned about how their ecotourism, how all the 3 different parts of it, looking at how the tourists need to not just go there for the experience, but actually go there to learn and be educated about the environment around them, which is how I learned to live responsibly.
Yeah.
But we also looked how that can influence their government, which is how I learned to live purposely. But through Alternative Breaks, as a site leader, I have to be trained to do it. And then I also have to take groups all around the nation to serve at different locations. I have done a trip to St. Jude's, which I've done for 3 years in a row annually.
Okay.
Where we go there and we help out with their non-monetary donations and then other local community partners.
Yeah.
And then most recently I went to Natural Bridge State Park, which is down in Virginia, and we did environmental stewardship.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, those sound like amazing experiences, and you're giving your time, your break, to serve generously, which is, again, speaks to Alma College and the students that we have here. So, Carla, can you talk a little bit about, so a lot of, the programs within 3CE that you're working with, a lot of those are donor funded, donor assisted. Can you talk about some of the more recent things that have come through maybe this year?
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, I think the funding that comes from the venture program really enables opportunities for that students might not otherwise have. We survey students, and 70% of students who get venture funding say, I would not have had that experience without this funding. So we know that it's changing lives. The thing I'm most excited about this year is implementing the new Deacon Scholars Venture Support Scholarship, which is funded by one of our alumni, Charlie Deacon, and his wife, Ann. And through their generous donation, we're going to be able to double the venture funding available to around 80 students every year for the next 5 years. So students who have financial need, maybe $2,500 isn't going to make the difference to allow them to participate in that international travel opportunity. Now they can apply for $5,000 in support, and this is going to open up these opportunities to students who may never have imagined that could be something they could do while they're in college. So I'm so excited to start sharing the news and helping them plan their international experiences.
Well, that's fantastic. And some of the students that we've talked to today, and coaches that they've talked about, when those students leave Alma College, they talk so much about those real life experiences that they've had, whether it's through alternative breaks or through venture or just travel in general, their study abroad. And so those things are just so huge to the Alma experience. I think that's really great. So, you talked a little bit about Costa Rica, and that was a really great experience for you. Can you talk, is there a particular memory or favorite thing that you really have experienced through, not necessarily even alternative breaks, but maybe focus on that, or just in general at Alma College?
Yeah, it definitely actually is the Costa Rica spring term I took.
Yeah.
While we were there, we stayed with the host family.
Okay.
And my favorite memory was bonding with that host family. You can only learn so much inside of a classroom. So I find I learn the best through experiences, and I learn the best through people who have firsthand experiences. So going there and talking with people who actually live there, have firsthand experience, and know the culture, I found I learned the fastest, and it was most influential.
Yeah, wonderful. And it was noted earlier, I had traveled on a number of alternative breaks, especially when I was coaching. It was easier to go, during the winter term because I was coaching volleyball. And so just being able to lead some of those trips and connect with those students. You know, I had always connected with students that were involved with athletics, but then just getting to know all Alma College students and just the impacts that you all have on communities, you know, not just here in Alma, but nationally, even across the globe. So that is just, you know, thank you for doing that and for leading those trips, because they are a huge part of what makes Alma College and makes it special. So Carla, you know, why is it important that we continue to invest in the global experiences here and global experiential learning?
Yeah, I think it is really critical that we do continue to invest in students' global and applied experiences, and that's critical for a number of reasons. I mean, for one thing, employers and graduate schools want to know that our students can translate what they're learning in the classroom and apply that in the world. And through their adventure experiences, through their other applied experiences, our graduates are very prepared to articulate the value of their liberal arts Alma College education and say, here's what I learned, here's how I applied it, and this is why I'm prepared for what comes next. And then on the other side, these global experiences are key to preparing students to serve generously, lead purposefully, live responsibly as citizens of the world we bequeath to future generations. So it's really key to our mission to prepare students for this global world that they're going to enter after they graduate from Alma College.
It's wonderful. All right, Reagan, can you, if another student is thinking about, you know, a 3CE experience, what's one piece of advice that maybe you'd give to them?
Do it.
Do it.
Absolutely
All right,
do it.
let's do it. All right, while we're doing it here, we're going to go ahead and first of all, I want to thank you both for coming and being on the live stream. I know that you know, you've been on a number of Scot talks, and I think that we've got some folks going and meeting with Dr. Joe again later. But thank you for that. We are going to go to the donation page here and check on how we are doing. We are quickly approaching $100,000. We're at $88,179 so far in Alma Day, and want to scroll down, and I want to make sure that we go through and thank some of our recent donors. So if you can see here, you can go, if you scroll down, you can see some of the projects that we're working on. You can see some of the growth that they have, the percentages, things along those lines. Also want to make sure that we get to the featured matches. So the matches, we've got different challenges going on. You can see those here on our screen. We want to talk a little bit about the Marble Lead Giving Fund for young alumni, and you know, we want to make sure that you can see that. These are all great lead gifts and matches that we have here on the website. Also want to go down and just thank some recent donors. All right, there we have some. All right, let's name a few here. We've got Aaron Main, Joseph Phillips, Catherine Cooper. You can see them all there. We want to make sure that we thank them and thank everybody that's donating today on Alma Day. But as we roll in, we are going to be talking with our spring sport coaches, and we are going to be rolling a video, spring sport video. All right. We'll be back soon. welcome back, Scots. We are here with some of our spring sports coaches and a student athlete. Holly was on here earlier and did a fantastic job, and now she is back as representing spring sports for the sport of tennis and also SAC. But we'll go ahead and allow everybody to introduce themselves, starting with Denny.
I'm Denny Griffin, the head softball coach.
Hello, I'm Jason Crain, the head baseball coach.
I'm Holly, women's tennis student athlete.
I'm Catie Smith, the Spirit Squad and NCAA cheer assistant coach.
All right. Well, Denny, let's start with you. We're supposed to be playing tomorrow here in Alma. It's a little brisk, but let's talk a little bit about the start of your season down in Florida. If you want to just give a little update on how the Scots started.
Scott started really well. Tomorrow's supposed to be a balmy 42 degrees here in Alma. We got snow and ice on the field, so we're going to postpone tomorrow. But I wish I was back down in Florida. We went to a place called Claremont, Florida, right outside of Orlando. The team went 8-2, played actually 13 games in that 6-day period, 10 varsity games, and we trickled in 3 JV games as well. We were 2-1 in the JV world, so kids got to play a lot. We battled. It was nice to see. We were down a couple of those games, and we battled back to take the win. Probably the most exciting game of the week was we played Wartburg. We were up 11-5 in the bottom of the 7th, and 2 outs and runners on first and second, and we won 11-10. So it was kind of it took a few years off my life, I think. But overall, it was a great trip. Kids played hard. It was fun, and of course, the warm weather never hurts when you're playing softball.
All right, fantastic. Well, congratulations on the start of the season, and looking forward to see how the Scots are doing the rest of the year. Cassidy, I'm going to call her Cass because she was a multi-sport student athlete here at Alma College and now is assistant coach for the Spirit Squad and also cheer and stunt. Can you talk a little bit about the difference between Spirit Squad and the cheer and stunt team?
Yeah, of course. So Spirit Squad, you will find them more so on the sidelines between men's and women's basketball games in the wintertime. And then this fall, Spirit Squad's also taking over football for cheer and stunt because stunt is entering the NCAA world now. And so our cheer and stunt teams are the ones that compete at NCAA nationals and stunt games and such. So we perform 2 routines down at the Daytona NCAA Nationals, Spirit Rally, and Division III Advanced All-Girl. And then they return and head straight down to Oklahoma this year for Stunt Nationals. And then, yeah, so it's a kind of sideline versus competition.
There you go. Excellent. All right, so Holly, you're here representing tennis as well as you were on National SAC this year.
Yes.
Before we get to that, will you talk a little bit about, so tennis is split. You play a little bit in the fall, and you play some in the spring. So can you talk a little bit about balancing that schedule as well as how's the season going so far?
Yeah, so season's been great. We got back about a week and a half ago from our annual spring break Florida trip where we go down to Orlando, Florida, and we play at the USTA National Campus. We're I think University of Central Florida. That's kind of their like home turf. But yeah, it's a really cool experience getting to travel to the warmer state of Florida during spring break and everything because tennis is one of those sports where the conditions have to be pretty pristine in order to play outside. So we have yet to have a practice outside for the spring season. We've been practicing in our rec center, so we're hopeful to maybe get outside next week. But yeah, so as Sarah kind of alluded to, we do play in the fall and the spring. So the fall, I would kind of compare it to a fall ball type of season where we play, more scrimmage matches. We play out of conference. Like we go to Albion to play a doubles tournament usually every year where we play Albion and Olivet. Yeah. But we only play doubles in traditional matches. We will play doubles and singles. So that's kind of what our fall season looks like, having between 4 and 5 matches usually. And then we all move in a week early and we practice before school starts at the end of August. And then we have the off season, but it's interesting because we're kind of off season, but also preseason. So we're definitely focused on, hitting the weight room 4 to 5 times a week. Really, nailing that also over winter break as well to prepare for season that starts up in February. So that's kind of what that looks like, but things have been great so far.
Excellent.
Yes.
Well, congratulations on a great start. And just again, we talked a little bit about Holly earlier, but a great
Thank you.
career as well representing Alma College for sure. Coach Crain. So let's talk a little bit about the start of your season, and then I'd like to hear a little bit about the man that maybe almost didn't make it through his first year at Alma College, ends up back at Alma College and is mentoring these great students
I know, that's a good
on
story.
the baseball
I don't
field.
tell that story a lot, but it actually comes in handy quite a bit.
It does. I think it
We'll
does.
start with
Well,
our
you're going
Steve.
to
We'll
tell
start
the
with our
world
Steve.
right now.
That's fantastic. I can't wait. So we've been traveling all over the place, which has been great. We started out the year with this weather and hence the softball change tomorrow. We were supposed to go to University of Mary Washington, open up our season, which is in the southern side of south of DC. Ended up going to Iowa because the ice storm that hit the East Coast early in the year. So went out to Iowa and played a doubleheader at Dubuque, which was fantastic. We won 2 there. And that was the second weekend of February. Then we went down to Anderson, which is in Indiana, near Indianapolis, and played in some freezing cold temperatures, probably colder than Coach Griffin over here would be willing to play in. But, took 2 there and tied 1 as well. So that was another good weekend. That took us to our spring break where we went from Mississippi to Alabama. Played a bunch of really good schools down there. I really love going down to that part of the country, and those schools support us well and host us really well. So that was a successful trip. And then last weekend we were in Muskingum and played a 3-game set there and took 2 out of 3 from them. So overall we're 9-5-1, which is a really good start to our season. We played a handful of JV games too when we've been south. So lots of playing for the guys in the field, and we feel like we're in a great spot and to continue to go forward. This upcoming weekend we're at Ohio Northern for a nice chilly 3-game set. This weekend. So that's kind of where we're at season-wise. As far as my story goes, today we've got these fantastic systems here at Alma College that are electronic, that'll tell a coach and otherwise if something's gone awry. Back in my day, prior to cell phones and the internet was barely there, I'm a 1995 graduate of Alma College, thankfully. At my fall midterm, I had a .95, and Coach Crain grabbed me by the ear instead of by a Scot Success program, and I ended up making it. So here we are today.
Yeah, I bring up that story because when I was recently in Florida, and I had met a former roommate of yours, and he's like, yeah, I knew that with that guy. I was struggling. So,
freedom is great.
But no, I love hearing that story, and you tell that to and sometimes we do have students that come down to college, and they might have a hard first semester, and they can make it. And a lot of it is the impact of the coaches that we have here, and a lot of the the Academic Success Center, and all of those again, not by the ear, but by
right.
success. So
not
fantastic. I do love that story. I know I put you on the spot to tell that a little bit, but all right, I'm going to go back to Holly really quickly because you had mentioned, so Cass had mentioned that stunt is rolling into an NCAA sport.
Yeah.
Well, you were able to be part of that at the NCAA convention this year. Can you talk a little bit about your experience, not only in SAC at Alma College, but also as a national SAC rep and being a part of that? I think you spoke on the floor.
Yes, I did. Yes, on the business session floor at the Division III business session. So yeah, I have been involved with the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, commonly referred to as SAC. Here at Alma, I started my freshman year as a representative, and then I moved into the executive board starting my sophomore year at Alma, where I became our Plaid Posse coordinator, where I kind of enhanced student engagement at our home contest. And that opened up a lot of doors for me to get involved into the MIAA Conference SAC as well. So on Conference SAC, we have 2 representatives from every MIAA institution. So you think, Albion, Olivet, Hope, Calvin, all the 8 other schools that are in our conference, they also have 2 representatives, and I became the secretary on my first call on MIAA SAC. So I already had a position on the executive board pretty much. And that really gave way to my first opportunity to go to the NCAA convention in January of 2024 in Phoenix, Arizona. And I was there with other student athletes from the MIAA. The MIAA paid to send 1 student athlete from every MIAA school. Yeah. So that was really fun. And conveniently, the Albion wrestler who was on Division III SAC, who represented the MIAA, was rolling off. So they needed someone new to fill his place. And I was just a baby. I was a sophomore, but I was very interested. And being a sophomore, I am able to serve out my full 3-year term because you can only serve so long after you graduate. I'm able to serve until January of 2027 on National SAC, just because of graduation, but I am fulfilling my 3-year term, which is really nice. So I was selected to serve on National SAC, and for some context, Division III SAC, there are 42 representatives for the 42 conferences in Division III. So there's 1 representative for every Division III or Division III conference per se. And then at the business session in January of this year in Washington, D.C., that's where we voted on having stunt become a Division III championship sport. So
Fantastic.
they are doing, and Division I and Division II also voted in favor of it. And so now stunt has a national collegiate championship starting next year, where Division I, Division II, and Division III will all compete together for an NCAA trophy. And then the next step after that, whether that's in a few years or later down the line, will be creating stunt to be a Division III specific sport.
Well, that
so
is
just
awesome.
like all the other sports that are
Yeah.
in Division III. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of my spiel on that. It's a lot.
No,
but
that's
been-
great. And it's a great history, and
Uh-huh.
it's so amazing that you are representing Alma College while also representing National SAC. So thank you
Thank
for
you.
that. And, you know, we have something to celebrate with now. You know, stunt is going to be an NCAA sport. And I think I heard maybe rumor, no, not rumor, that we have something else to celebrate, and that is that Coach Griffin will be inducted into the National Softball Hall of Fame. Coach Griffin, congratulations. Will you talk a little bit about, first of all, what that means to you, but then also talk a little bit about, you know, the history of some of the student athletes that you've had that have, you know, helped you maybe stay a little sane and stay here at Alma College and helped you get some of those wins to make it to that spot.
Yeah, I mean, the National Basketball Coach Association Award, I mean, it's very special. It's the highest award that the organization gives out, and I was not able to attend the convention this year, and so they did it Friday night. And so Saturday morning, I wake up and the phone is blowing up, you know, congrats, blah, 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 and I got pictures from my colleagues that sent it to me. So it is special. It's going to be held on December 11th in Atlantic City. Everybody is invited. So I hope everybody.
You heard it here.
Already there. And I've been told I have to wear the kilt. Dr. Jeff
You get to wear the
I
kilt.
get to wear the kilt. I've been told I have to wear the kilt, so that'll be fun. And you know, this past year, Phil Hansen, my assistant, and I were inducted in the Alma College Hall of Fame, so I got a chance to kind of do some preliminary stuff. You know, talk in front of 200 people. Now I get to talk in front of 2,000 people, so it's going to be a little nerves in that respect. But it's not an award that I won by myself. It's an award that coaching staff, you know, Phil Hansen, Brandy West, Marie Zill, Alan Schneider, Mike Doran, all of them have come a big play into what I do, and all the student athletes that have come through this process. I mean, even my family. Tammy has been an outstanding support. Sean and Aaron, you know, grew up with me and these teams that we've had. So it's not something I have won myself. I'll walk off the stage with the award, but hopefully it's hope everybody shares it is what I'm hoping that will happen down there on the 11th. But it is special. I mean, it's not something that I can't remember the last time an MIAA coach received such an award from their coaching profession. So it is special. I mean, it's numerous. I mean, I don't know if I can really pinpoint a couple student athletes because then all the other ones are going to be mad at me. There's great teams, there's great student athletes. I mean, there's a lot of student athletes that have gone through here. Hopefully, we've impacted their lives in some positive way that they're taking in their adult lifehood. So as they come back for homecoming, it's fun to see them connect, and I get the emails and congrats and stuff in the phone. I mean, it's neat to see the connection of the family and lifelong friends and those type of things. So to me, that's what's important about this award. So they're really special. And Division III. I mean, a lot of times those awards are Division I-ish, and the fact that a Division III coach is now being inducted, to me, I get to represent the whole world of Division III, so it's very special.
That's very special and well deserved. Congratulations again, and very, very proud of you. And again, we all know that Tammy's the real MVP.
She is.
But
She's done a lot behind the scenes.
I know. But I want to thank you all for being here today. Do you have anything else that you'd like to share, kind of as you're going into, you know? You've all started your seasons, but you're going to be going to nationals soon. You know, any big competitions, Coach Crain, that you've got, you know, who we got that you're, you know, really aiming for?
So our conference season's upcoming. We start in about 10 days, weather permitting. We open up with a big series against Adrian, which is always a big one for us. So we'd love anyone that's around and can, to come by and say hi and support us. We love seeing you there, and certainly love the support that we've received over the last many years from our donor base and alumni and friends and family, and that's what allows us to give this great experience to these our guys and our team.
Yeah.
Same thing with me. I mean, I got 9 seniors that are looking forward to it. So come out, support the Scots. Support the Scots. And Alma Day, it's a great way to show your love and dedication to not only your sport but also your academic major of choice.
Fantastic. All right. Well, thank you all again. We are going to be moving now to another video. This time, looking at the legacy of Dave Zerbe.
For more than 30 years, Professor Dave Zerbe has shaped the sound and spirit of Alma College as Director of Bands, Percussion Studies, and the Chair of the Music Department. Since arriving in 1988, he's built a legacy defined not just by musical excellence, but by mentorship, discipline, and deep care for students. Known for his high standards and belief that success is rented and the rent is due every day, Zerbe has helped generations of musicians both on and off the field with the Kilty Marching Band and in the practice rooms. As he prepares to retire at the end of this academic year, his impact will continue to resonate through the traditions, culture, and people he's helped shape.
You really couldn't quantify how much Dave has done, and in all of the areas that he's done it in. He has driven excellence in the music department in a way that has made all of us, speaking as a student and as now a colleague, better musicians, better teachers, better colleagues, better pedagogues. Everything that we do is better because of the way that he teaches and the musician that he is. And then, institutionally, I think that the marching band and the concert band, the percussion ensemble, the things that he's taught, the things that he's created here, are institutions in and of themselves. When we talk to music alumni, when we talk to any alumni, what do they remember about campus? They remember, their friends, they remember their programs, they remember some of the things they learned. But the sort of feel-good moments are like Saturday mornings, you see the kilts and you hear the bagpipes. And Dave has driven so much of that over the years, and that's what I think he's kind of meant to the institution, is those alumni memories, those kind of feelings that you have when you think about Alma.
What exudes from Dave is passion. His passion for his program, for this college is obvious, right? It's anytime I get an opportunity to talk about what he has going on in his department, half of it, I'll be honest, I might not understand because it's in terms and things that aren't in my world, but I love it because of how excited and how much passion he has when he talks about it. Consistency. Dave has shown consistency always through the years. Before every kickoff, I walk over to his stand and we shake hands, and I might offer a little, it's a quirky little thing I say, since he's above me, we shake hands and I say, here's looking up your kilt. But he jokes about it and we both laugh, and I'm not really looking under his kilt. To have that consistency of somebody that is there rooting for you, and the familiar face, and again, somebody that's excited for you and your program as I am for him, that consistency is much appreciated.
Dave's impact on the generations of students that he has worked with here at Alma College and kind of building their futures, I think has been absolutely amazing. He has provided a path for each and every one, a specialized path for each and every one of them, whether they recognize it or not. All of these folks have been, all of these students that have gone off to become these professionals in whatever capacity, he's provided them, I think, a real level of understanding of who they are. He's provided them with a foundation for what it means to be a leader and what it means to be a follower and when to do either. And he's also really helped reinforce with every student I've ever seen the importance of team. And for that, he's helped shape me in many ways.
Welcome back, everybody. What a beautiful tribute video for Dave Zerbe that we just listened to. I was not in the room when that video filmed, but I know it was very emotional. I believe that Bob Murray started crying a little, maybe there were a few tears.
Thanks, sir.
He's an emotional guy. You know, I've been working with Bob here for a while, and he is an emotional guy.
I care deeply.
He does care deeply. But go ahead and just quick introductions of yourselves, and then we'll get going with some questions.
Okay. Dave Zerbe, Director of Bands and Percussion Studies here at Alma College. Started in 1988 and came on board full-time in 2004. I've been here since then.
Wow, fantastic.
My name is Bob Murray. I'm the Vice President for Advancement here. I'm class of 1988, and I have been in this role for the last 2.5 years. I smile. Yes, there we go.
He smiles. All right, so Dave, you arrived in 1988 and spent more than 3 decades here. When you look back, what stands out most about your journey, and what made Alma feel like home?
The kinship of this place. I picked up really early on that students and alumni really value their experience here, and Alma means a great deal to them. And to be honest, that kinship has infected me over the years. Maybe that's the wrong word to use, but I really feel a strong allegiance to the college as much as my alma mater. It's just been a wonderful experience. The support has allowed me to build and create things that I wouldn't have been able to accomplish at any other institution. So just that support, the students, you know, their level of excitement, their level of commitment, their intelligence, all of those things. It's just made it a really wonderful experience for me, and a pleasure to create, to be able to have that license to just go forward and try to create something beautiful for the campus and for our students and the community.
Well, beautiful it has been. So thank you for, you know, creating that for our students and for the community. And it's, you know, I've been here for 14 years and loving hearing the music. And, you know, my favorite, I was the athletic director for 5 years, and my favorite part of football, sorry, Coach Couch, but when the band comes in, and I always open to the gates, and the band comes in, it is immediate goosebumps, and you know it's game day, it's time to play, and you guys are there, and it's just such a cool experience. I think I filmed every single time that you did that, you know, just secretively. But Bob, you have had a front row seat to Dave's work over these many years. From your perspective, how has the band and music program grown under Dave's leadership?
Well, I appreciate you asking that question, Sarah. I think one of the things that you and I are going to be in this whole conversation is way too serious, I think. And so part of this is...
yeah, loosen up, guys. Come on.
This group doesn't realize that we are just... We're absolute goofballs 24/7. And when you put us in front of a camera, it's like, you know, we're getting way too serious.
Emotional guy.
We are very emotional guys, and that's okay. It's 2026. We can be that way. But I will tell you, it's been absolutely, it's just been so much fun to watch Dave and the program build. Dave is, you hand this guy any instrument, he knows how to play it, but I will tell you, you hand him any percussive instrument, and it is absolutely amazing to watch him do this, do his thing with those. And it is, Dave has expanded my appreciation for the percussive arts and just for the importance of band throughout the higher education space. But it has been amazing to watch Dave take a program that was languishing. I think when you stepped in 88, there were tough times. And I think that during that period of time from 88 to the early 90s, and yeah, I'm an old guy that's been around that length of time too. So it was really tough to watch that kind of these really motivated young people that didn't have a place to really blossom. And Dave in the marching band, and Dave really built out that percussion ensemble. And I can tell you, I haven't been, it was just so incredibly important. And I was so very proud to be with Dave in Moscow, Idaho, for the Lionel Hampton Jazz Festival, in Port Townsend, Washington, for the Port Townsend Jazz Festival, and to bring these incredible musicians throughout. And the key thing, you talked about students. I think it's obvious, anybody that knows Dave, and I will say the same thing about the music department. I said Will Nichols, Scott Messing, you name it. the importance of treating a student as an adult, right? This is empowering them, giving them these are folks that have come here to learn things, and they've learned how to be and how to learn to be leaders.
Yeah.
And Dave has really allowed these young people to do incredible things, and I think that's a big part of it. So I could go on for hours. So I'm.
I think that we could probably have a whole live stream with the two of you, especially because we often joke with Bob when he starts telling stories to, I believe his wife says, land the plane.
Yeah. Lori.
But Lori, just a little shout out to you, Lori. I use that term with Bob as well quite often.
Long. And I get the cue card, land the plane. So
there you go. All right. So Dave, he kind of started talking a little bit about, past students, former students. So former students often talk about your high standards paired with humor and care. What do you hope students take away from their time with you and your mentorship?
Probably first and foremost, be a decent human being. Everything else sprouts from that. If you're not a decent human being, then nothing else matters. Care for others. That's super important. And then to come more to the specifics of the program, whatever you take on in life, you should go at it to the fullest and do your absolute best to contribute to whatever that is. That when you step into a larger organization than yourself, you have to be assimilated by that organization, and you have to function within its guidelines and within its goals, which is not to say you can't have an impact on that, but you have to be there long enough to know what it is first. So I think that's really important. I think it's important for people to know you don't have to be at a big school to be successful. And in fact, the exact opposite can be true. And I think Alma's exceptionally great at providing our students with world-class experiences that allow them to go out and be successful. And we have so many successful alumni in so many different aspects of our country and the world that, to me, those are the most important things, and that music and the arts in general are just so important. I mean, without that, what do we have, right? We also, just for them to remember that, how important the arts are, and that support for the arts comes from a grassroots position. It doesn't come from above, it comes from the grassroots. And so you have to make your voice heard when it comes to the arts, and be out there working, support, join your high school band boosters or choir boosters or orchestra boosters, or support your local theater group or any of those things. I mean, the arts are just so important and have been such a huge part of my life that I just want more people to be able to experience the joy that comes from either being a part of the arts or just being a devoted listener or watcher, attending concerts and plays, etc., and really experiencing them to the fullest.
Oh, very well put. Thank you for sharing that. And
Thanks.
The arts are incredibly important. As you end your tenure here at Alma College after this academic year, how do you think your legacy at Alma, and what do you hope continues for your students as you move out of Alma and the program moves forward?
My legacy. I guess my legacy is the work that I've done. I hope that it speaks for itself. There's a famous guitarist and composer, Frank Zappa, who always would say, "Shut up and play your guitar." Yeah. And I think that applies to more things in life than just music. But to just what I've accomplished and the things that I've worked really hard to try to do, that they stand on their own. I think that's, to me, is really important. As far as the future goes, I want to see the program continue to grow. I want to see it blossom. I hope the person that, steps into my chair is better at it than I am and takes it even further, because the arts at Alma over my tenure here have been very important to the college and to our students and to the local community. And so many of our students are involved in the arts. I think at one point I saw something published where it was 50%, and I know that for a long time, 30% of the college population was involved some way with the arts. And there was a period of time where 10% of the incoming freshman class was in the marching band. So I think it's just critical that that continues to grow and be supported. And I think it can be a huge recruiting tool for the college because people don't expect programs like we have here in the arts to exist in small schools. And so I think what we have here is very special.
Thank you.
I'm going to interject one thing. What part of your legacy is your friends that are in leadership roles throughout the state and throughout the country. Those young people that came in as young people and left as adults with an incredible skill set. The thing that you don't give yourself enough credit for is that your mentorship. I mean, you train mentors. You train people in how to teach. You train people in how to be mentors. And the caliber of young people that have left this institution as a result of the time that they spent with you, Justin Rito is here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
and doing a fantastic job.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's, it all just comes down to always trying to do your best and to lead by example. There's lots of folks that talk about leadership, and I think if you thought for 2 seconds you could come up with 25 names right now off the top of your head that you see in the news every night that do not lead by example. But our students lead by example because that's what they experience here. And so, I always tell my students, don't expect more from them than you expect from yourself. And, in the marching band, I a long time ago instituted like a flat management scenario where I tell the students, look, we're all in this together. Me without you is just a guy with a stick waving it in the air and nothing happening. And you without me is a group of folks that need some leadership. And so there's no success without both working together towards the goal. And so if I tell them something's going to happen, I expect them to hold me accountable. And if I say we're going to do this thing on a certain day and we don't do it, I expect somebody to raise their hand and respectfully say, hey, wait a minute. You said we were going to do this thing. What's going on? By the same token, when we decide what our goals are, then I expect them all to step up and make sure that they're doing what they need to do to contribute to the group. Because whenever you're part of a group, that larger group is always more important than you are, right? And it's up to you to contribute to the group at your highest level in order that everybody has the best experience.
Well, Bob, Dave, this has been an absolute pleasure. Is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience before you head out?
I don't know. I don't think so. Other than I've known this guy for a very long time, and I think we've done some pretty good work together for the college, and I'm committed to continuing to assist him with that in the future. I care deeply about the college. I care deeply about the music department, the students we have now, the students that are coming in the future, and my current and former colleagues. You talked about leadership. I had great mentors here when I first came in, was the new kid on the block. Will always used to hail me in the hallway with, hey boy, and as only Will could say it. And I always took that as a term of endearment, but Scott Messing, Murray Gross, Ray Riley, and Will, I learned from all of them about how to run a department, how to, just how to be a better teacher, all of those things. And now they all retired around me. I'm the last one of the old guard, I guess. So.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time today. I know that you've got to head out, but we really appreciate you coming in and, just thank you for all the work and all the impacts that you've made for our students and everybody that has, been to a football game or been to a performance. And, it's been a great legacy. And, Bob talked a little bit about mentorship, but both of you two have served as strong mentors, for me. And we know that I don't have much for music. I'm not very musically inclined, but maybe you could teach me some drums on
Sure.
vacation. So anyway,
Absolutely.
all right. Well, thank you so
Thanks
much. Take care.
Appreciate it.
Dave, we'll see you, brother. Let's do this. We're done.
See you later.
Get out of here.
And
Go-
all right,
go
folks.
teach.
Well, as we wrap up, Bob and I are going to be here, and Bob and we've been working together here for a little while, and I usually throw a little sarcasm his way. All Bob's really got is some dad jokes, though. So we're gonna end the live stream here today with Bob maybe trying really hard to make you laugh.
I am going to tell a few dad jokes because it's important for a dad to tell dad jokes. But I just want to thank everybody. This crew here behind the scenes have done a wonderful job. We've been watching. I've been watching this all day. We've got the folks. We've got the folks behind the glass tearing it up with cue cards for Bob telling me to land the plane.
Special shout out to Jake O'Brien behind the scenes there, also the marketing department, the folks from the advancement team. They've been doing a fantastic job. Tons of work has gone into this live stream. I hope you all have enjoyed it. We're hoping to continue this tradition year in and year out on Alma Day, and we will continue another live stream at the Scot Talk here a little bit later. So the Scot Talk will air at 3:45. You'll be able to hear President Joe Odenwald with a couple other students and other folks as well from campus. Donations continue to roll in. You can continue to donate until noon tomorrow. Just a reminder that people, if you do want to donate, you can donate at alma.edu/almaday2026. And while Bob does his dad jokes, I just want to say that we are already up to $96,872. So this is fantastic. We're, we've got 23 hours remaining. So if you have not given yet, there is plenty of time to do that, but don't wait. And we just want to continue to thank folks. We have 285 donors as well. So thank you again for the support, and take it away, Bob.
I'm ready. And I'm going to see if Ben laughs at any of these. So I told my doctor I broke my arm in 2 places. He told me to stop going to those places. I have a fear of speed bumps, but I'm slowly getting over it.
That was terrible.
I'm getting it. All right. I gave all my dead batteries away today, free of charge.
Oh, yeah. Okay, snaps.
I'm terrified of elevators. I'm taking steps to avoid them.
All right. Okay, we're going to sign out here now.
Wait, no, the best one is I got fired from the orange juice factory. I just couldn't concentrate. I tried, here, this one's for Ben. I know you'll love this one. I tried to catch fog yesterday.
Thank you, everybody. I'm going to step in front.
I tried to catch fog yesterday.
All right, go Scots.
I missed.